Listen, man. Welcome back to the Halfway Up podcast, and I call it Halfway Up because you're never finished rising. And I'm honored to be sitting here with another guest.
No vibes.
This guy, man, when I first met him, it was interesting. I met you with Elijah, and you came into the studio and you were talking to me about like all of this social media nerd shit that wasn't relevant to me at the moment.
Yeah.
But now it's like everything to me. You were saying a bunch of things that I really couldn't relate to because I didn't have that experience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't know what it was like to make content and try to like cater to an audience. What do audiences like? How do you market your shit? That was my first impression of you. But now that I make content and now that I've seen you drop like 100 million more pieces of content since that day that I met you, which is maybe like a year ago or something like that, I've just gained so much respect for who you are and what it is that you do.
Appreciate
Because
you.
you a beast, bro, when it comes to making content. Like,
Appreciate you, bro.
as a nigga that I say, like, I work very hard at this and I would say I do my shit. You know what I mean? I try to drop at least like,
proud of you too, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I watched it. I hit you up. I told you, like, yo,
yeah, for sure.
it's moving. Especially like, I love seeing the growth. Like, I'm aware. I'm very aware. So I'm like, and I know like when something's gonna work. Cause even on the side, when you first started posting, I used to hit up E like, yo, Wolf is posting.
Mhm.
Like Wolf is like he moving.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, one of these is gonna hit. And when it hit, it's gonna hit. My favorite thing is like I love your alternative content. Like
What you mean?
because you know I do a bunch of like skits and other stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
So when you find another niche and pocket when you're not doing potting,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So it's like when you started doing the caption on the video,
caption,
drinking your tea, some toxic conversations starting up, getting it. I'm like, he gets it. You get it.
Man, starting to at least, bro. Starting to, and it's just like social media is such an interesting thing because I had to learn that it's when you're doing this at the highest capability, you find a middle ground between what you want and what the people want. But in the beginning, it was all about what I wanted, though. Everything was about what I wanted, though. And I wasn't getting what I was looking for.
Facts.
And I was frustrated by that because it was like, but this is good, though.
Facts.
This is good, right?
You gotta find a median. I tell people this all the time. Like, you're not in the game of social media or just even public perception, public service and goods. Like, you're making a product for the people.
Yes.
You know,
Servitude.
you need, without them, you know, it just doesn't move. So it's like, you want to please them. You want to stimulate them. You want them to feel what you want them to feel. So you got to find the common ground. You got to find yourself. Okay, what works? You got to compromise a lot of things within yourself. You got to compromise a lot of things within them. It's like, okay, I won't ever go that far, but I could do this. And you see how much it takes out of you. And then along the way, you kind of figure it out. And once you get used to it, you know, now it's like a job, right? It's like a duty. Like, I have to drop my content. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those things you have to go through to get it. Because a lot of times, like, I've been talking about social media since I left high school in 2016. So nobody was really, like, me and Gary V, right? Like, what Gary V was doing, I was doing amongst my peers. Like, no, like, yo,
talking to them, trying to put
this thing is gonna move.
Right.
Right. And not even like my own personal stuff. I'm like, no, like, social media is gonna blow. Right. And then my first inclination was Ninja. When Ninja blew up with the video game stuff, I'm like, this dude is making more than college graduates and doctors playing video games.
Yeah.
And then you have like esports tournaments. Then crazy thing is, main reason why I say be corny, be cringe, be creative. And along the way you find yourself.
That's your slogan?
Yes. Be corny, be cringe,
like
be creative.
I like that.
And be consistent. Because I had before Funny Marco was Funny Marco, he was a dude on social media doing some of the most cringeworthy content ever. I'm a young dude from New York, super judgmental. And after seeing what Funny Marco accomplished early on, I said, oh, I'm not holding back. Because he started, like, he was dancing in a Spider-Man costume. He was running out of hospitals. He was doing certain things to stimulate his audience. And his comedy was like Southern. It was Southern comedy. It was like Midwest comedy. He's from, I think he's from Kansas City. Like, so when you look at some of the content he's doing, like I wasn't liking it, but it was getting the numbers.
But it was working though.
Especially at the time. And then like, then he found his Walmart stuff that I loved. He started doing interviews in Walmart and being funny there. And then, you know, he caught a deal for a show. So like, watching how like somebody could start right there, or even, what's her name? Abbott Elementary.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then Kai Cenat, right?
Yeah, she been at it for a long ass time.
But look at the pieces of content that they were dropping though. Like they were dropping like nothing to what they have now. They were like, oh, he got money. That's what she blew off of.
Yeah.
And then, you know, BuzzFeed and stuff like that. And then now she has a show that she
now
wrote.
You know your shit.
So it's like, I've always noticed these patterns of like, oh, I made a post for it was called For the Dreamers. It's still on my page. I found it. And I highlighted her, Issa Rae, her YouTube channel, and Kai Cenat. Because how you start is never how you finish.
Right.
But if you don't start, you won't ever know how you finish.
Right.
And that was always a thing for me of like, oh, I could be doing, as long as I'm in media, whether I'm doing videography, production, or whatever, I'm going to end up where I need to end up because I'm just in the space of the pool. And then, because these people, they started doing skits, just skits. Now we have the biggest streamer. We have Emmy Award winners.
I mean, Titans now.
Come on. So it's like, that's why I tell people all the time, like, be as open-minded as possible and get your reps in.
Yeah.
Write these scripts.
Yeah.
Learn the system, learn the game, and always look to grow from it because, like, the examples have been shown and they're the first to do it in such a way when, you know, it could have always been us too.
Yeah, you got to be open-minded. There were so many things that I didn't plan on doing with my content that I'm doing now. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, I'm never going to touch current events. It was certain shit that I never wanted to be perceived as like a content creator, something about even the name of that. Cause like I've always seen myself as being an artist, right? That was the name that I felt best suited who I am in my persona. So with certain things I was like, I'm not gonna do, like the caption reels and shit that I'm doing now. But it's like eventually you cracking at this shit, trying to see it break and ain't nothing shaking. And if you a sane person, Albert Einstein say the definition of insanity, do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So I'm doing the same thing over and over again. And I got to be honest with myself and like, you know what? This isn't working. It doesn't matter how smart you think the content is. You think it's so smart. You think it's so wholesome. You think it's going to provide so much value, right? And not to say that it can't work, but right now it's not working. It's time for you to have an open mind, like you just said, and be willing to pivot. So me and you was talking earlier about losing camera equipment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you to introduce yourself in a minute. But
I got you. Bro, we
yeah.
podding.
Yeah,
we came to pod, man.
So we're talking about losing camera equipment. I went out to Northern California. Somebody broke into my car, stole $6,000 worth of equipment out of my bag, gone, right? I used to do the podcast outside. So that shit kind of had me fucked up, right? Again, being open to change and pivoting. So I came back my first day in New York City. Like I had all my outlines, all the things that I had planned to talk about and the journals inside the bag. And I just came in here and I was like, you know what, bro? Fuck it, bro. Why don't you do one of them things you said that you would never do? And I started talking about relationships. First time I ever went viral. First time, bro. I think it did like 700,000 or something like that. When before, barely anything I was doing was cracking 10. You know what I mean? And like, but pivoting that one time changed everything. Hundreds of comments. It's like a mini Discord in the comment section, bro. It's not even about me no more at this point because now people bringing their own opinions and bringing their own energy. And so I say that to say that like, you got to be open to pivoting. You got to be open to having an open mind. And as soon as I did that, everything started to change. Well, without further ado, man, please listen, introduce them to you, man. Let them know who you are, what you do.
Angelo, man of many talents, artist, singer, songwriter, videographer.
You be singing?
Huh?
You be singing?
A little auto-tune, you know. That's the thing. You know what's crazy? Like, yo, you know what's crazy? Like when I do kick my music back up, like so I stream heavy. Like people know me for different things. So like I always tell people like, yo, whatever you meet me at is what you know me. That's why like if you ever go out with me, you'll see like people stop me for different stuff. Like I'll get stopped by other shooters like, oh bro, I love your dope ass production stuff, yada yada. And you'll see people like, yo, I love your pod. Then you'll see like probably girls pull up on me like, oh my God, I was just listening to your song on my playlist. Like I stream. So it's like, you know, but it's, and I stream, bro. I got 3 songs that stream.
That's beautiful, bro.
So it's like, yeah, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. I'm gifted. But yeah, I just get like, I get lost when people asking like, yo, like, do I do music? Like, yeah, they got
do so many things.
Yeah.
I commend you on that, bro. I commend you on
Appreciate
that because it's hard enough to get people to lock into one thing, let alone be a man of many talents. Like you're like a multidisciplinary artist, right?
Yeah.
That's not an easy thing. I also want to commend you on recently coming out and expressing your love for God in public, bro.
Yeah. That was heavy.
Yeah,
Still bad. I'm still dealing with the,
yeah.
you know, it's the that mm, ugh.
I commend you on that, bro.
I
Because
appreciate it, man, but it's a battle, gang. I ain't gonna lie
is it
to
a
you.
battle,
Oh
bro?
my god, I dealt with something the other day. I can't even really talk about it too much.
Got you.
But like, oh, my demons crept up on me, gang. And
Yeah.
it's like I did something out of character, out of spite.
Mm.
And intentionally too. Like I was well aware
It
of
didn't just
like
happen. It was on purpose, nigga.
God was like giving me a test and I chose to fail. Like
Yeah.
I knew what the right thing to do was, but
Mhm.
I was hurting so bad that
Yeah, you just had to get your shit off.
and I don't regret it, but
Sound like me.
it does attack the soul though a bit where it's like I
Yeah.
feel bad.
You knew there was a higher ground to take, and you didn't take that.
Yeah, I didn't take it intentionally though. Like it was, and because the person that hurt me was somebody of some type of spiritual aesthetic, like they're Christian also, but they wear it really well, and they kind of like they hurt me, and I was nothing but good to them, and it was like, no, you're not gonna get this.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. But it's like I have to allow God to. I have to trust that God is gonna make things better for me, even if He spares the other person. It's for a better reason. But it's like that I couldn't
do it though. It's like, God, I'm gonna need you to let me get this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you.
I got that one off, and then I have a good community. They held me accountable, and they did
For
their
sure, that's
thing.
good.
But like, yeah, it's a battle though. It's like I still battle with my lust feels and stuff like that, and I'm very open to talking about these things because like that is the reason I got baptized is to not to be perfect, but to be as close as to perfect as possible for Him. But it's not easy, bro. Like I got baptized in the midst of my vaping addiction, in the midst of my crave for women. Like that thing don't change. It's like the holy water lasts for like about 2 weeks. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like you might end up in somebody's bed.
Yeah.
You might end up in somebody's DM.
Yeah. I mean, you know what they say? They say faith without works is dead. You know what I mean? That's that works part.
Definitely in moderation now. I'll tell you this. I chill out.
Yeah. You done took it back.
Yeah, so like if I was going for 10, I go for 2, 3. I slow down. It's like, but it's like again, and also just being surrounded by. I shout out to Elisha, because Elisha's such a great boyfriend to his girl. Like when you're around, we spent the last weekend in Miami, and I was like, damn, you make me want to be a good man.
Based off of how he demonstrate with his woman.
Oh my God. And I'm around that. Like I'm around a couple people like that. So like you're a product of your environment,
Absolutely.
right? So
birds of a feather, bro.
Yeah, and you're like, y'all love y'all girls?
Yeah.
Like because I come from a world where like it's F these girls.
Really?
So
what about the girls that you was in a relationship with though? It was never that? It was never that type of time?
Except for my second love, yes. Always, forever.
How long ago was that though?
2020.
Okay.
Yeah, but my first love, I love in private. I'll tell you this, I'm a lover boy, bro.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, you're just not like public.
I'm not public. Hell no. Like
yeah.
That's like people who know what's up know what's up. Like people be knowing. Like I be chatting sometimes. Like there's some things I like. I'm still a F boy about, but like objectively, I'm a lover boy. So yeah, but like I come from the New York culture of like get money, F girls. That's where I come from. It's like that's where like when you're in a room full of like New York men from like the ages of like 12 to I'll say about 23, your penis is measured by, it's a crazy statement, but your penis is measured like how big your dick is measured by who you're sleeping with and how long it took you to sleep with them. And like it's like I grew up in that culture of like one thing every dude could always talk on is like, yeah, the money different, but who's dealing with the baddest?
I was just talking about this on a solo pod I did the other day. Like, as men, we gotta like reroute the encryption on how we see things because we were socialized the wrong way. You know? Especially like when you were a young nigga, you looking at other dudes who are also young niggas, but they older than you, and so you thinking that they setting the standard for how shit's supposed to be and how it's supposed to go down. So it's like, oh, that's how he treat a woman. Oh, that's how he making it happen.
I want to be like him when I grow up.
You want to be like him the whole time. That nigga don't know nothing either.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But then some of us don't even get the luxury to grow into a phase where we realize that all of that shit was wrong. It was another way.
It becomes habit though.
Because it's like when it comes to women, there's an ethical way to approach everything and still get what you want.
Fact.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? It was like, if you just want to be having sex, you can do, well, speaking this is in a worldly sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta, you know what I mean? But it's like, there's a way to do that without adopting some of the fucked up behaviors that we got from our culture. Like, you talking about 12 to 23, them niggas don't know nothing.
Facts.
And realistically, half of them niggas probably wasn't that smooth, probably really didn't have a great relationship with women like that in the first place.
It's that part too, but also the women within those same age brackets are also very naive, and
of course,
they also don't know. So it's like,
of course,
it's
of course,
yo,
it's the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, bro. Like, how do I say? Because I don't want to come off, I don't want to sound weird or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that was like, I battled that for, like, I just got rid of that, I say about 2 years ago. Like, success to me was like, wasn't about money.
Mm-hmm.
It was always about the people. And a big part of that was like the female audience.
Acceptance from the female audience?
Yeah, for like a long time. Like, wanting to feel like that guy. Men couldn't make me feel that way.
Mm.
Like, men could say whatever they want about me.
Yeah, like, that didn't really matter as much. But the women, though.
When women, like, when they validate you through how they speak about you, or how they view you, or like how they, you know, allow you to treat them, like that there's a high to it. Because like, everybody's human. You know, like, you see how these girls go over rappers that they know are gonna cheat, athletes that they know that they're gonna cheat. Like you said, so it's like, there's a high. When you chase success, that's why they say, like, chase success, the women are gonna come. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the scariest thing for like a man who doesn't know any better. You know, and you kind of like got to figure out, like, damn, like, just because they're letting you take advantage doesn't mean it's right to take advantage. So like, you kind of got to start picking your poison after a while, because it's like, it started to get, especially like since I started the pod and like, you know, things started happening. Yeah, it get real scary of like, oh, like, just a little bit of clout got me, like,
yeah, for sure, that influence, that power.
Like, like, I just got here, like, and so this is like the lower level. I could only imagine what, you know. So yeah, like, but it's like that is a crave for a majority of us men, because like that sexual, I don't call it a demon, but that lust, that crave is like, that temptation is dangerous, bro. Because some of us, that's our only vice. Like, I could tell you, like, if you was to tell me to drop sex amongst everything else, I'll drop everything else before I drop sex.
Really?
And I don't, in a sense, like, I don't even like having sex that much. I just like the access.
It's about the power.
I just like knowing that I could get it. And I've communicated that to people before. I'm like, yo, like, yeah, I want to sleep with you.
I understand that, though.
Yeah, it's not that, but I'm not gonna sleep with you. Like, I'm not a 5 days a week type of dude. I could sleep with you one time this month, and as long as, if I call you next month and you're available, like, what's up? Like, I want that power. That's what I want. I don't really care to like make you come 5 times a week. I'm not that guy. Like, so yeah, it's, damn, I'm getting real vulnerable.
Nah, yeah, I appreciate it though.
But it's like, it's stuff like that. It's stuff like that that go through my mind. It's like, damn, like, so you kind of learn how to control it, and you change the habits up. But
yeah, we as men, we definitely just gotta relearn. You know what I mean? And it's really not our fault, because we was improperly taught. You know what I mean? And the people who was supposed to set the example for us, they didn't know themselves, though. You know? And a lot of the time when it comes to men and women, I think men's problem a lot of the time is they don't have enough experience with women too. So sometimes you gotta get out there to really realize what you even dealing with. If more men had more hands-on experience with women, then maybe they get a chance to realize that, like, what you think is all of that is not really worth what you might risk in return. You get what I'm saying?
Facts. I do have a question though, right? Because it's like, I don't really want to make this thing about like men know, because women know what they're doing also. They know, like, they know how weak the flesh is.
That's true.
It's more of a like,
I put more pressure on the men though.
Yeah, because we are the leaders. I
expect them to lead.
We set the tone.
Because they want to lead.
Yes. No, but it's also like our God-given right. Like, I believe that men, like, protect, provide, and profess is like, that's our thing. That's
always.
That's what we're like. That's our God-given right.
Always, yeah.
So, but with that being said, there is this dilemma that ends up happening when, especially with like women that like, girls be like, yo, just be honest with me, right? The honest guy never wins. Sometimes he does.
You don't think so?
But no, whoa, no. Because I've done told girls, I say, yo, because I'm a very honest guy. But there comes a point where, especially like when you really crave somebody, like to the highest degree, it's like, nah, like I want you. Because I know that there's a guy that's gonna go out there and lie to you and you're gonna fall for it. And he's gonna take advantage of you. Like how do you battle that of like, no, you're gonna end up you're a girl. Like women are like,
so you're gonna end up making the mistake anyway.
So why not make it with me?
No,
right?
That's nuts, bro.
No,
That's
nuts.
It's
nuts to say, but it's an actual thing though, because like, yo, word to me, I done tested the theory out so many times. I'm like, yo, because it comes to a situation where everybody always comes back like, damn, like you were right. I'm like, yeah, like every 9 out of 10 niggas is lies. What makes God, God, I'm not trying to say this for anybody, like. With how the dating pool is now and how accessible things are with dating apps and social media and stuff like that, how likely is it for us to find the one so soon?
I mean, the thing about this situation you're proposing, I guess it really just depends on the type of women that you giving yourself access to as well.
No,
I think that's important.
You sound like E.
Like who?
You sound like E. Allegedly.
No, I think that's important because it's like even that scenario sounds strange to me. That's not a scenario that I think would apply to some of the women that I've had experience with.
It comes down to who you are. So
okay. So
yes,
with that being said,
it comes down to the individual because I can tell you, like, we could deal with the same girl. We'll get 2 different versions of them.
For sure. But like back to you saying that like another nigga gonna run game on you anyway, so I might as well be the one to do it. It's just kind of like, well, maybe she's smart enough and self-aware enough to just absolve herself from all of that in the first place. Like nobody's is like
that smart. 365 days in a year. Nobody's that smart throughout the whole year.
365, no.
Somebody's slipping up. Like
365, no. But as long as you cover majority of that ground, though.
She's gonna have a moment though. Like
we're gonna have a moment too, though.
No, maybe not. I'm telling you, yo,
that's a double standard now.
It's crazy. Like I call it the Drake and Chris Brown effect, right? It's like all the girls want to marry Drake and all the girls want to sleep with Chris Brown. So they put men in. There's men that same thing with us, right? There's certain women that like, I'm gonna spare you. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm not gonna sleep with you because I know, women do the same thing.
You saying some men do that? Like I'm gonna spare you, like
yeah, like if it's somebody,
sure.
yeah. So
for sure.
Women do the same thing where it's like
sure.
if you're a man that not every girl wants to get married, right? Or every girl thinks they want to get married until like it's time to do the work to get married. It's like, whoa, I was just outside. Outside is kind of like everybody has those moments. So it becomes a challenge now where it's like, when you're the man that they put you in a marriage bracket, and then you see how loose they get with others, it kind of messes up your mind. Because like, think about it, right? I'm sure you've heard before, I would never have a threesome with my man. Like the man that they actually like and value does not have the luxuries of the worldly desires as the man that they don't like. That's always been and this is not a type of woman thing, my brother.
I think it's all women.
I think it's depending on the man, circumstance, emotion in the moment, anything can happen.
I think this is a really black and white way of seeing it. I think there is a middle ground, to be honest with you. I don't think the middle ground women get enough representation in the convo. You know what I mean?
What's the middle ground woman though?
Somebody who's emotionally intelligent enough to just kind of save herself, like
as to what they present to us.
As to who she is.
Wolf, I need you to look at me. No. Look, I'm not saying that I'm the guy that knows everything about women.
Right.
I know enough to tell you.
Right.
Again.
It's like you're talking about a certain kind of woman.
No. I'm telling you, my brother. Listen to me. Listen I can't say too much because I know this episode's gonna go up. I don't know what clips you're gonna use. Just in case. I'm telling you. I even had to show it to E at a point. Like I had to show him, like, yo.
Show him what?
Like, it doesn't, like I've done the spiritual, I've done the woke, I've done the ghetto and the ratchet. Like, no, how women feel towards a man in the moment can never be fully communicated because it will take away from this idea that you have of like the middle ground woman. Like, no, like every single one of us are capable. Got a burp.
Yeah, get your burp off.
every single one of us are capable of having those moments where we don't want to be intelligent and we don't want to like. There's moments, bro.
Life is it's a spectrum thing. It's a duality.
Yes,
thing. Yeah,
right. But the thing is, like, the people that are on the middle ground that are not as expressive with it, you will never know, and that's my issue.
I just want to walk this back to how you brought us into the room initially by saying that, like, because somebody else gonna lie to you, I'ma lie to you.
No, I'm not saying that I'm gonna. No.
I know you're not.
Saying
I know.
It is a thought.
You thinking like you're speaking metaphorically.
Yeah, like no, like it's been moments where I've had that conversations with certain people. It's like, yo, look, like I know you want to hear the sweet stuff.
Why can't I just give you the real stuff? And again, going back to how you introduced this, how you set the table initially, women don't want the truth. You can't be honest with women, and I can't.
That's a general statement, by the way.
No, I get it.
Individuals are gonna like, yes,
right.
Some individuals I would like it, like there's women that would be like, yo, thank you for being honest with me. Ava Evans comedy, right? Shout outs to Ava Evans.
Mm-hmm.
She made the joke about going out with a gay dude. I don't know if you've seen it. It went crazy viral for Pride Month or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ended up sleeping with
the gay dude?
No, with like a dude that just ain't give a fuck about her. And it was like, it's a thing. It's a common theme in dating.
But like, why did she do that though?
Huh?
Why did she do that though?
I don't, because she's a woman. That's what they
what
they
type
have.
Of
they have the luxury. Hold on, can we take? Hold on, take two. I got to pull it up for you so you can see what I'm talking about.
You hearing this?
You got to see what I'm talking about because it was one of those things of like
she slept with a dude who didn't give a fuck about her,
bro,
because she's a woman.
Hold on,
that's the statement.
My first trans man. It was fun. I didn't know he was trans from his profile, but you know, in person I figured it out. But I didn't give a fuck. I'm too poor to have a phobia. Okay. As long as you identify as a man who's paying this check.
Oh shit.
At the end of this motherfucking meal. That's all I care about. As long as your pronouns are Zelle and Cash App.
She walked on this joke, by the way.
What else you got going on? And it was a good day. You know what I'm saying? Conversation was good. The vibe was good. It went south when the bill came and his card declined. Right. I was like, ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, don't worry. One of my 6 roommates are going to send me some money. I was like, what the fuck? You live at jail, nigga? What the fuck?
Nah, New York.
Roommates. So, long story short, he pays the bill. He says, Eva, I had a great time. I would love to take you out again. I said, absolutely the fuck not. He got offended. He's like, I thought we had a great time. Don't tell me you're transphobic. I said, no, baby, I don't date the poor. I'm poor. What the fuck we gonna do together? What you trying to star, nigga? I need help. I said, first of all, that's poor planning on your head. Why didn't you transition into a rich man? Right? So your transactions can go through.
Hold on, wait. That's the wrong video.
That's the wrong
No,
video.
hold on, wait. This one. This was the one.
I'm from Dallas.
Keep watching.
Same scenario, best side, Brooklyn, where I live at. Excuse me, Mom, let me talk to you for a moment. Nah, I'm good. I didn't fuck with that bitch. Stupid ass hoe. Broke ass broad. The more he kept going, the more accurate the shit got. I was like, God damn, who told us to do my business? So since he knew me so well, I ended up fucking him.
That's yo. This is way more common.
Okay, right. And you saying that's a lot more relevant than
I'm telling you, it's like, yo, yes.
But you know what? Again, this goes back to I'm saying like the type of woman that you speaking on, because I feel like the sensible women that, no disrespect, but I gotta, you know what I'm saying? If we talking, let's fucking talk. You know what I mean? Like the sensible women that I know, exes in my past, women that's in my life, like that shit, they not about to fuck the nigga who just disrespected them. So you kind of coming from this.
Why do you feel that way?
Because I know it.
No, you don't know.
No, I know it. So first of all women are not a monolith, so I can't speak for all of them. You know what I mean? But like, you kind of speaking toward a broken woman, and I think that's what we really get into. You speaking to a broken woman that is somehow attracted to not being prioritized, not being taken care of, not being appreciated, and something about her in her mind thinks that's attractive. Something in her mind is like this cognitive loop of where she's like, oh, okay, like that actually is like good. Like I think masculinity is disrespect. You know what I mean? Or I think masculinity is like, I'm not masculinity. I think being aggressive is masculinity. You know what I mean? Which is kind of how a young bitch think, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? That's how, and you know what? She might be older, but she still think like a young shorty though. But like a healed woman, an older woman, a woman who done probably been through enough of that. Hopefully not too old, but you know what I mean? Like wise enough to know she not falling for that shit. She not falling for that shit. And that's what I mean. I was like, I feel like you're talking about a certain kind of woman. Like, you damn near gotta like paint this woman for me, like verbally real quick, so I can imagine what she looked like. Like, what's her hair look like? Like, what type of cologne, what type of perfume does she spray on? Like, how does she dress? What type of music does she listen to every day? Because this is like you talking about a certain type of woman. A very small niche of woman, by the way, who don't know shit. That's why she getting finessed, because she don't know shit. You get what I'm saying?
I get what
like where the women.
I partially agree with you.
Where are the women in this conversation that like don't go for none of that shit because they not slow?
I feel like there's a few of those.
It's a lot of those.
No,
I'm the only ones I deal with.
No.
They're the only ones I deal with.
I'm trying to tell you. Like, all right, so Wolf, let's say hypothetically you dealt with about
any number.
50 women.
Okay.
Right? And you feel like they're all like that. It is highly unlikely that they're all like that.
I'm not saying that they perfect.
I think because of you're the man. I think because of how you present yourself and how you carry yourself. And how, you know, I'm not assuming that you're healed, but let's say,
yeah, for sure.
Right? Like because of how you carry these conversations, it then opens the floor. It's kind of the same way, right? It's like where girls are like, I'm not going to tell you what I like because I don't want you to start acting like it. So
a girl would say that?
Yeah, I've had girls tell me that, like, yo, I'm not going to tell you the things that I like.
That sounds like something a child would say.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like what woman would say that?
I'm with you. I'm with you 1,000%.
How old are you?
I'm 25, but I also date older though, so keep that in mind.
No, but I'm 31. So that's relevant information.
Okay, yeah.
That's relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like people would do like little stuff like that with the semantics and things like, no, like I want you to be, because it's basically,
right. No, I
want you to be yourself, and then I want the qualities that you really have to pour out so I can pick from what I like. That's really what it does.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you dated 50 women that you feel is like that, I can say it's because you led with that energy and they submitted to it.
Maybe I'm just better at curating what it is that I'm actually looking for, though, too. Like maybe it has a lot to do because it's like,
you think you would hit all 50 times?
Nah, wait, what were we talking about hitting? That's
I'm not talking about like hitting sexually. I'm talking like you think like if you dated 50 women, like you think you're that
50 women over how much of a span of time, though? Like what are we talking about? Because this might be a nice amount of time. Like 50 women, this could be 3 years.
That's a lot for 3 years. But
that's a nice number for 3 years.
No, but I'm saying though, like if you're gonna pick those type of women as often as you do, you think that every single one of them, like, or you think like you're above 500 in picking them the right way, or you don't feel like, how much time are you spending with these women?
Probably significant.
What's significant? I don't think you're spending a significant amount of time with these women.
Probably not, honestly, especially with the way I live life. And
stuff. If I can do 2-3 hours with you and keep it together.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, that's a thing, brother. Like, because us guys do it too.
I'm just trying to get to the point. I'm just trying to get back to the initial point of like, women don't like to be told the truth. And maybe they don't. But I'm going to tell you anyway, though.
Facts. I'm with you.
I'm just going to tell you anyway.
I'm with you.
And I have found out that, see, once upon a time, I felt the same way I did. But then I started telling them the truth. And then I realized that, see, the real problem with men telling the truth, let's get to the real conversation of it. Men don't like telling the truth, not because the women can't handle it, because they're afraid of what's going to happen once they do, though. It's like the card's not going to be in your favor no more. That's what the niggas don't like. You know what I mean? She can handle the truth. Sometimes her handling the truth is her not fucking with you no more. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? She like, okay, this is me handling it. You know what I mean? Because I don't agree with what you said.
That's a fair point.
You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with what you said. And then sometimes it'll fuck you up where you'll tell her what the situation is. You could tell her anything. You could be like, yo, I'm actually living with somebody right now. And then she like, well, thank you for letting me know. We could just fuck. And then sometimes that's the case. So some women, it's like, depending on who we dealing with, right? Because they're not a monolith. But, you know, they'll surprise you. Listen, I'm always in favor for tell the truth, niggas. Fucking tell the truth. Because if she walk out your life, she probably doing you a favor anyway. Imagine if you get her pregnant, now you stuck with a woman who put you on child support and she just ruined your fucking life. She might have did you a favor.
Listen, you're not wrong.
She might have did you a favor.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying, I think, you know, I'm a truth teller. I tell the truth. I've spared a lot of people. So I could tell you, like, from my experience in general, like I'm not. They like, again, they like to hear it. Like, again, to thank you for telling me the truth. But I'm gonna go to somebody that's gonna lie to me and tell me the things that I want to hear. Like, you get what I'm saying? And maybe I'm just dealing with little ass girls, even if they're 30 or 40. Like,
maybe.
You get what I'm saying? So it is, and like, and you know, as men, like we have better discernment for women against men. So it's like we know when they're with a fuckboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, women don't have that level of discernment. I don't say women. It takes time to get there because you have to experience certain things to know, oh, like, it's like that out here. Men have certain tendencies and
for
this
sure.
type of man. That's,
right, yeah.
So a woman
come with wisdom.
A woman who's, what's the word? I say developed. A woman who's experienced it.
Yes.
So she has a bit more discernment to know how to deal with men.
Yes, and she's been through this before.
And I could agree. So I could agree with the, like, okay, the younger girl thing or like the least experienced woman thing.
Exactly. And it's really just about least experience, not even about age, because the truth be told, like, of course, like, I could meet a woman who's 45 going through this silly ass shit. But you know what I mean? But that just speaks to her lack of character development, her lack of accountability, her lack of self-awareness, you know what I mean? But then it's like, I know a lot of niggas it's the same way too. I know a lot of niggas is way too grown to be doing what they doing. Too broke, too grown to still be broke, too grown to still not have decent credit, too grown to not have your own place by now, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's an accountability thing.
Nah, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Too grown to be making the same mistakes that you make. And I just think that, like, as men, especially for them too, but I'm a man, so I can only speak for us. It's important for us to know how to weed out the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because when we find ourselves with like low quality women, you know what I mean? They're dangerous to us though. How many niggas do we know? Life fucked up right now.
Sometimes that's just a reflection of us though.
It is. That's the whole. That's it. I'm not saying that because of them. I'm saying that because of us.
Yeah, like I think it's like
poor selection in human beings.
Poor selection, terrible discernment. Lack of patience.
Yes. You want to know why a lot of the time?
We be rushing to.
We want to know why a lot of the time? Listen, this is a perfect segue. Because of lust.
Facts.
Lust.
Facts.
Blinders. Can't see none of the important relevant shit. You this close on the picture. Back if you was thinking from a clear mind, you could back the fuck up and see the whole picture and realize I don't want to buy this.
Facts.
I don't even want to buy this. But right now I'm bidding. Highest bidder right now.
Yeah.
100 million. No. You can't wait to buy because you fucking horny out of your fucking mind, not thinking clearly. That's why like posting that clarity is such a real fucking thing.
Yeah, PNC, bro. I love me some PNC. I hate PNC because it's like, oh,
it's scary. Posting the clarity is some scary shit.
Yeah, I don't think women give us enough.
I wonder if it's the same. Is it the same for you? Yes, no? Okay, we got a woman who's offset. She's saying,
even if he make you come?
Well, that's where the clarity comes from. So we're talking about post-nut clarity. Is it a thing for women? Yeah. After you have an orgasm or whatever, then it'd be like, yo, what am I doing?
Nah, but like, no, but what if you don't orgasm, but you still attracted to the dude?
Well, she didn't nut, so there's no post-nut clarity.
No, but like they don't nut as easy. We're going to nut.
No, but true. But if she nutted or not adds to whether or not she got the clarity in a lot of ways.
Is that what you're asking?
Yes. Or is that what he's?
I feel like it's different for them because they can still enjoy sex without nutting.
It depends on which woman you ask.
Facts. I'm saying no, but some women can enjoy sex without nutting. Like they could enjoy your company. They could enjoy. Like
I would argue a lot of them don't, and not because I don't think the sex wasn't good, because she's not mature enough to understand sex can be enjoyable without her getting an orgasm. But it just depends because maybe she's had sex 4 times and this nigga nutted every time and she still hasn't got her one. That's also a reality that a lot of women live in. But I
Some women don't even know like they have an orgasm yet.
Facts.
then it be that.
Facts. No, but like just their look. Whoop-de-doo.
That's
Hoorah.
unfortunate. For
It is
them.
unfortunate.
That's very
It is.
unfortunate.
It's just that's
for
how
real.
we have double standards. It's like, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, those women that don't know, right? Their clarity comes a tad bit differently. It's like something else would have to turn them off before the sex does.
And chances are it will because niggas are inconsistent. You know what I mean? So chances are the nigga will not be somewhere he said he was going to be or not do something he said he was going to do. And then that'll just tip her off.
Whatever it is. I'm just saying, because even if you, because I feel like, you know why I feel like an orgasm for a woman is far more valuable because it's harder for them to get it on a consistent basis if they're having casual sex.
And even that is interesting to me because for some women, a lot of women, it's not hard though. A lot of women.
You know something I don't, bro? You out
know
here
something
fucking
I don't-
You out here fucking everybody?
No, I mean this is like this story. This I don't want to call it a myth because I hear so many people saying it, but like I don't know. I don't understand why that's happening for women. To be honest, like why is it that women are just like going like
Because
whole?
every penis works the same way.
No, it does.
Yes,
What
no,
do you mean by that?
you stroke that bitch up and down a good enough times in the right motion, you're gonna come.
Well,
Certain girls don't like their clit played with. Certain girls love
some
their
girls
clit
don't
played
like
with.
head. Yeah,
Yeah, so
all
like,
women out of monolith.
it's so much. It's like every dick is gonna come the same way.
No, it's not though.
Yes, it is.
Because
bro.
well, first of all dicks not the same. So how can we
I'm not saying all dicks are the same. I'm saying the process of making somebody come.
If that was the case, all women would be having orgasms.
No, but I'm saying it's different for women.
Okay? No,
I'm saying all men. We're all gonna nut.
I follow you.
We're all gonna nut
I follow you.
the same way.
I follow you.
Them, nigga.
It's different.
If you sleep with this girl, I like hear her clip played with. The next girl you sleep might not like that shit. So
That's true.
it's a constant. I swear to me, I used to talk about this a couple years ago when I was like really having sex. I'm like, yo, I'm over it. So what's a nigga favorite way when he don't know how to make love to a girl or don't care to make love to a girl? Pound her shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get your shit. You run into somebody that likes that, it's lit. You need
Almost nobody likes that.
Huh?
Almost nobody.
No,
likes that.
I'm telling you, there's people that like
No, there
that.
are people that
There's
like
people that tell you faster, harder, that like it's a thing.
Right.
Then you run into somebody that's like, slow down.
Mm-hmm.
The last 5, they didn't tell me to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta rewire my brain
Mm-hmm.
to slow down, and I gotta figure out So it's like the women are, especially like when you're sleeping with multiple, like you're not the guys, niggas. I think they make every girl nut. I laugh. Like sometimes I didn't come here to make them nut. Like I'm not. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
So just
I just came here for a good time.
that's just to bring it back. Like that's why I feel like their clarity is always a tad bit different because I feel like because their orgasm is a bit more valuable,
Jesus Christ.
they hold on to the person that they could orgasm no matter what it is because they not gonna get the orgasm everywhere.
It's few and far between out here.
For
That's what
us, when we nut, it's like, oh, I'm gonna nut again with another girl. With them, it's like, no, your clarity is a tad bit different because it's like the orgasm is so powerful.
So her
you might not get it again.
With her, right? Her clarity is probably better, really, because she's like leaving the situation frustrated.
Nigga, if a shitty nigga makes you come, ladies, it's clipped. Like you're stuck now because you might get a good guy, but he might not please you like the shitty guy. The thing with us is we could go from a good girl to a bad girl, whatever, and come the same way and nut the same way. That's
Okay.
why, like, we get the emotional stimulation that we get is far more greater than how a woman receives it from us.
Right, but you know the thing is, this is underneath the presumption that the good guy can't make her come, though.
No, it's not. I just gave you the hypothetical.
I know, but I'm just following the hypothetical that you're saying that like, oh, like as soon as the shitty guy make her come, it's like it's a wrap.
It's not that.
She's stuck with him and not the good guy.
You know what it is too, though. There's more of a think about the mind state you're in when you're with certain people, right? Like for example, like I'm sure you're different now, but like when you were younger, like I don't know what kind of life you had. I'm a New York City boy, so like it's certain rushes and stimulations that I get in certain moments.
Okay.
So certain different experiences with that person. Let's say, so I don't do drugs. I'm gonna give you a real life scenario. Like, let's say at a party, caught a vibe, have sex that same night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super stimulated from the whole event.
Mm-hmm.
The sexual experience is gonna be different if I was talking to you for 2 to 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like those moments matter to us in a certain type of way, like both sides. Like, no, like the thrill of this. It was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a show on Netflix. I forgot what it's called. I'm gonna send it to you though. And literally, this lady got married to the perfect guy, but she couldn't stop thinking about the dude that was sleeping with her behind train stations and his expensive ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a rush to it, doing the things that we shouldn't do.
And right, exactly.
So it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes
Right.
it might not be a shitty guy, it might be a shitty situation.
Because he wasn't the perfect guy, though. You know what I mean? Like the perfect guy is like
Perfection
it's
is
it's contextual to what it is, but like you said, like it was spontaneity, though. You know what I mean? It was fun. It was unpredictable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So a lot of women like that. So like a lot of times when we
niggas like it too.
for sure, but a lot of time when we paint this idea of like the good guy, for some reason that guy is always lacking like the energy to have fun. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, we need some more. We need some new good guys to take place of the good guy that everybody talk about when they get ready to talk about him. You know what I mean? Like the dude who know how to like be spontaneous, be like, yo, meet me in the bathroom or something like that. Like we need that, bro, because it don't gotta be like this nigga he just had vanilla sex and then the other nigga he broke and he sleep on the mattress, but he fucking your brains out and he want to fuck everywhere and have fun. Like sometimes that guy could be that guy too. He hopefully should become that guy after a while. Some repetition.
Listen, I get it. And it's like, you know, it's the best part about these topics, like there's never a right answer. It's really per the individual and the experience. Like,
bruh.
It just is what it is. I just know like the reality of it though is like I know what I'm saying is way more common but it's way more taboo to speak of, especially at this age and this time that we're in where everybody's healing and mental health is at an all-time high and everybody's on their soft life, grown, everybody's getting saved. Like, so it sounds pretty taboo to say, but it's like, no, like, and this is why like,
I don't think it's taboo.
My favorite part as a Christian right now is like, I'm disruptive as hell. Like, I know what's really going on inside of our bodies.
For sure.
I know what people are actually going through. And I know what secrets are not being said. I know what shame and guilt is feeling like. So it's like, I want to talk about it. And I don't want nobody to feel disrespected or ashamed because somebody, like, my biggest problem right now with Christians, and I posted this on my threads today, yesterday. I think it was today. I'm like, it's thingamajig where everybody kind of puts sex at their forefront when it comes to sin, right? When you don't ever feel the same guilt when you lie, when it's equal to him, is a problem for me. It's like, wait, like, yeah, like not saying that go have sex, but I'm saying
I feel you.
Like that if the sex is as convicting as it is, then lying should also be that.
So the thing is, and I'm not super well read on the Bible, but in the Bible it says he without sin cast the first stone, right? So it's like you can't judge niggas because we fucking up too.
Facts.
But also somewhere in the Bible, I gotta ask my mom, she could lead me to this, but like it also said that all sin is sin, but sin has character too, though. You know what I mean? And it's just about like it's about what the character of quote unquote like fornication. And then I also think it's because of the what it costs on your body. You know what I mean? Like they say the body is a temple. Like stealing and sex does two different things to the body. It's two different risk factors to it. You know what I mean? One, it toils at you or it weighs on you in a different kind of way. And the punishment for it, like spiritually, karmically be like way different. Like once again, like when you out here, you fucking and you having sex and then you mix blood with somebody that you had no business creating generations with. And now here you are, you know what I mean, with a child, with somebody who come from a broken ass family, and now your child inadvertently inherits generational curses. You know what I mean? Like that's slightly different than the nature of like stealing, where you might go to jail or you might get caught, right? But it's like the lasting effect of it is a little different, though. Do you get what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
Like I just again, I just feel like there is also a culture. And there's it's a bit tone deaf to the culture of the religion. It's like
I get what you're saying.
me knowing what I know and feeling how I feel about it. It's like, no, like, yes, the long lasting effects. Like the flesh aspect of it is definitely different.
Becoming a more of a lustful person. You know what I mean? Like it's yeah, I mean, all sin is sin, but it's like if you're gonna stay away from one, maybe the sex one is a good one for sure.
Maybe the sex one.
Yeah, maybe it's a good one, especially because when you a kid, there is no real wisdom. You know
At
what I
all.
mean?
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? There is no
Yeah,
real
bro.
wisdom, and it's hard. First of all, like temptation, lust is something that's gonna be hard to fight for almost all your life to some degree. But when you're a kid, though, it's just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? You want me to fight these now? I think I love this person. You don't love that
Especially
person.
with all the things that we're wired to see and think.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you taking risk and you thinking it's because it's love. And you like, bro, there was girls when I was younger. I was thinking like, this is my wife.
Facts. Same.
Facts. I know that. I'm older. No, it was not.
Yeah, at all.
No, it was not. But you know what though? I could have easily made a mistake that woman would have been a part of my life forever now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that the stealing don't do. You know what I mean? That the sex does. Like it'll have you locked in with a person that is like not supposed to be your person. So it's a lot of risk, bro. You know what I mean? So I understand the emphasis on like it's all like it's all sin is sin, right? Again, he without sin cast the first stone. So like we all dirty in this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Facts.
For sure. We all dirty. You know what I mean? We can never get away from that. So if somebody try to be like, oh, your sin worse than mine because of like, nigga, as long as you ain't murdering nobody out this bitch, me and you the same for the most part. But for personally though, it's like hopefully you got some good people around you that can help you stay away from that because some people don't come back from them kind of mistakes.
Facts.
You know, it's so crazy how we did this whole fucking whirlwind because
we potted though.
Yeah, we fucking potted because this is gonna sound so crazy after we was talking about sex and fucking and all that type of shit. Because the next question on my fucking outline was, what caused you to dedicate your life to Christ? Which is insane, which is crazy. Which is crazy, but
exactly
we fought it.
Talking about nah, it was clarity. Understanding the true definition of baptism, understanding the true definition of like Jesus loving me. It's crazy. The last part I did with Your Mental Matters, like it was the same. She had the whole, she had the whole list. Every time, yeah.
Shout out Mo, man.
And shout out Mo. And I was like, cause I ask questions back and we have conversations and we get stuck. But yeah, it was the clarity and the understanding and the readiness. Now you got to keep in mind, right? Like as somebody with a growing social media platform, personality, like this is a big move for me.
Yes, it is.
It's a move of influence.
That's why I said I commend you, bro.
It's a move of influence, and it's also a move of like, I made it very clear I'm not here to impress anybody. Like, because I know people are gonna watch. And they're gonna clock me. And it's like, because I understand the definition of baptism being me being more intentional.
Yeah, it's a declaration.
It does not make me like, I'm still gonna sin. I'm gonna have bad days.
I fall short still.
So I'm gonna fall short every time. And
not every time, but still.
Yeah. Yes, hold me accountable, but also give me grace as much as you're holding me accountable.
And that's the biggest part.
So it's understanding that, and also me being at the mental state I'm in again, understanding it. That's why I did it. And it was an intimate choice. It's something I've been working on for the last 2 years on intentionally understanding. And I grew up a church kid. I never left God. I always believed, even when I was chasing him through Islam, I always believed that there was God.
You said you never loved God.
I never left
God.
Yeah. So it was like I was yearning.
Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah.
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 I was yearning to know more and understand more, and then my Haitian culture like kind of messed it up for me when I was younger. So it made me like, nah, like. It was always F the church, and then I had to do a lot of like healing and forgiving. And I still haven't forgiven everything and everybody. Like things still hurt. I still bring them up. Like
for sure.
That's why I'm always coming at the Haitian church and always challenging, the culture and the religion. That's why I want to be disruptive. So, but my disruption, I'm not here to cause damage or chaos,
right, or confusion.
I'm here to force everybody to teach me the truth without hiding who they are behind it. So. Because everybody's so performative in Christianity, everybody wants to protect this image that they have of being saved.
Oh.
And it bothers me because it's like
it's a lot of that.
the nastiest thing is if you're gonna make a public declaration, then you're deemed for public mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has to be fair to us, right? If I come out there, and because I know what it is, and a lot of people react how they react, because they don't really fully understand it. Like, no, like, yes, I'm responsible to live a Christian like life,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the gray area is us falling short, like a lot
And the
more
grace
times.
earlier, like you said.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a constant learning process,
Yeah.
and if I'm doing good things, but deep down inside, I don't understand why I'm doing it, and I'm doing it because it's like, oh, I'm a Christian, like
Right.
that, and that's what people are expecting. It's
For
like,
sure.
you're a Christian, so do this and do that.
For
Well,
sure.
my heart is not really beating that way.
Yeah. It's not really, first of all, it's not coming from your relationship with God. It's coming from religion.
Yes,
Which
and
there's a difference.
and that's always the problem.
There's a difference between religion and relationship with God. See, a lot of people practice religion. Religion is a good thing. I think religion at its highest potential keeps us in line.
Yeah, it's the infrastructure.
But it's infrastructure. But a lot of people, they become well-read on the verses and well-read on what church people do, but how well is your actual relationship? How do you get close to anybody in life? By constantly communicating with them, having real conversation, real dialogue with them. A lot of people will pitch religion first, and you can tell they don't have a relationship with God. You know who God is, though.
Yeah.
You acknowledge that's who you pray to, but how strong is your relationship with God? And so when you say a lot of people kind of come on this pedestal that's like holier than thou, self-righteousness, a lot of the time that's coming from the fact that you don't have an actual relationship with God. And the only way you build a relationship with God is through trial and error. Wisdom has to be bought. It's the only way it can be acquired. You have to pay from it in your own experience, through your own pain, through your own happiness, through triumph, through victory, through loss, through failure. You know what I mean? That's the only way you get wisdom in this world. God's fair in that way. We all get it the same way. A lot of people won't ever realize that because they're too busy hiding behind words. It's like it's like you telling people how to act, but you don't really know, though.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I think you said something earlier that, but anyway, like, I think that you being a person that you walk to God intentionally on your own will, that makes the world's difference. You know what I mean? Like, even though you might have grew up in the church, I grew up in the church too, but like, I say that like I'm a Christian not because my mother and my father handed it to me, but because I developed my own relationship with the Lord, though. You know what I mean? And that changes everything.
Mm-hmm. Bro, that clarity is deep. Like even with my father tried to challenge my baptism when I told him I was getting baptized. And
that's tough.
It is.
That's tough.
It was nasty, but it's like, again,
tough,
I have the emotional maturity to deal with it. It's like, because I was ready.
And extend him grace for what he doesn't understand.
Right? And that was our conversation. It's like, you know, I'm not doing it to impress you. If I was to do that, then I would have did it when I was 13, when you wanted me to. And, you know, just even as far as having him reflect him as a father and him being the Christian example, right? If you think you're so holy art thou, then let's talk about it. And it was that type, and it was a very mature conversation. And then he understood it right away. And it was one of those things of like, he walked away, he understood, he showed it to my baptism.
That's a blessing.
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah,
facts.
for sure.
So for me, it was like, it was like, I understand this and I'm confident in this decision. And my confidence in the decision made the difference because it was like, that means I was okay with everybody else watching me and knowing this. Like, I know, even my post went crazy. Like, I knew what it was gonna do because it's like, especially with how I'm perceived. And I always talk about this, and it's like I don't care for the sympathy for it. Like, I know how I come off. How I come off now creates an idea of what you think I may be doing or may not be doing. So it's like people will always have this thing of like, and then I'll ask them, okay, what have I done? Like, I know what I say, I know how I move, I know what my boisterous character, my arrogance makes you feel like I do, but what have I actually done that you know? And then everybody kind of starts like scratching their head. It's like, oh, like you ain't really doing nothing besides like, yeah, like you're just loud, bro. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm not.
Yeah.
And it's like people do that. So I could only imagine now it's like there's a decorum thing, right? Like you have to speak this way. No, I don't.
Right. Like Christian got to look a certain kind of way.
No, you don't.
No, it doesn't though.
Right. So it's like
it's back to relationship.
And that's why I chose the church that I go to.
Yeah.
I wore a whole suit to my baptism.
Yeah.
That church, everybody's in slacks, khaki.
Yeah, they dress down. Come as you are.
Jeans. Pastor got a tech on.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Tech is crazy on my pastor.
But but Sunday's best is a cultural thing.
Yeah.
That's a sin.
For sure.
And that's not something that people speak on.
Yeah. So it's like you saying like not coming your best, like not.
Yeah, it's like
dressed all the way up.
Because you're coming to show everybody else.
That's once again, that's religion.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which it's important for people to understand. Religion is a man-made thing. It's man-made. I don't think it's bad. I think it's very good. It helps a lot of people stay in line. But again, it's like when it comes to relationship though, like respectfully, but like relationship would have been the difference between when a father hears his son want to get baptized and it'd be like, I'm proud. You know what I mean? Relationship would be, I'm just happy to see you in church. Not, let me find a way to communicate to you what you're doing wrong because you're not wearing, you know what I mean? But you here though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how hard it is to get here sometimes? I could have been doing anything. A whole lot of more tempting things.
I talked to my parents about that because my mom's reaction was like very different. My mom was like,
she was happy?
Yeah, my mom's not a churchgoer. But she's not even the most spiritual or religious, but like she's my mom and she knows and we're a bit closer and she's like,
and you see how that work? It's funny how that work though.
Yeah, facts. And I told her that. I said, yo, like I was expecting you to react how my dad reacted.
Yeah, it's funny how that worked.
You know? Because in my culture, in my culture, like you could stop somebody from getting baptized.
You can.
Yeah, and that made no sense to me. I'm like, how is my decision when my relationship has anything to do with anybody else? Because especially like, my parents, a lot of our parents, they're a bit ungrateful to the luxury of having a good kid, right? Because they have good kids. They don't know what paying bail is like. They don't know what other people
You ain't put them through a certain kind of hell.
So the slights that I do seem like the most egregious stuff. And it's like, well, I'm coming home at 4 a.m. because I'm working, or I probably went to go link a girl. Either way, you're not paying bail money. I'm not sick. I'm not hurt. I'm not chasing violence. You get what I'm saying? So it's like
pressing me. Why you stressing?
Yeah, like you. So it's like that's the thing. It's like with what I have shown them and given them, that's what they have to play with. It's like, well, in this capacity, you're bad. That's what it was. It's like in this capacity, like my first thing he said, like, yo, he talked about my vape. That's the first thing he said.
Talk about your faith.
My vape.
Your vape.
He's like, you're gonna have to stop that. I said, well, Dad, I'm addicted, and addiction doesn't stop overnight. I don't know if the holy water is gonna change that, but I will practice on slowing down, and then I will practice on stopping. But it's not something I would be able to.
But your dad's he's religious.
Yeah, very.
So it's like,
but he's Haitian religious too. So it's like,
it's okay. So and that's something I don't understand.
Yeah, like he's a traditional Haitian man. So there's like a bunch of like standards that come with that, and then you add the religion to it and the standards that come with that. It creates a strict force field of imperfection, and it's like
Haitians are Caribbean, correct?
Yeah,
so
right
like,
next to Dominican Republic.
So all I hear about is how strict Caribbean parents are. It's all I hear. Since
if you allow them to be,
what'd you say? Oh really?
Yeah, if you allow them to be, I'll tell you this. Like,
I love Haitian people, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate you. I'll tell you this. Like, I'm a man. I think I'm a boy. So what women go through completely different in our culture. So my mom is always gonna be my ride or die. Sons are allowed to stay till they're 50 and they take over the house. Daughters got to go, right? That's how like traditionally how it kind of works.
It's like that in the African community too. Interestingly enough,
the mom is gonna rock for the son. Now the father may try to still be a father, but the difference is the girl is always gonna be a girl. She could be her own woman, but my dad has to see a man. Like comes a point where I am your son biologically,
right?
But like you're not gonna be stronger than me forever. You're not gonna be bigger than me forever.
For sure.
You're not gonna be as smart as me. You're not gonna be as smart and sharp as forever. So it's like those things, starts to play a role where it's like, no, I don't agree with you. I don't like how you do that. No, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
rewire how you think. You're gonna treat me like a man. You're gonna respect me.
Yeah.
That dynamic starts to
Yeah.
come into play.
And that's
Even
something that happens between a son and a father.
so, and the mom is always gonna be the mom. The mom and the son is always gonna have the same relationship for a lifetime, right? And my father, because a lot of fathers aren't as present. My father's very present, so we are gonna have those battles. That's why, like, you'll see women go through a lot of different stuff. Where, like, if the father's not around, the mother and the daughter will still have like a rocky relationship. If the father's around, the father is most likely gonna, have a soft spot for the daughter, but she's still gonna be daddy's little girl. When a man grows up, he's a man to the mother, because he still has to protect the mother. He has to protect the mother, and he's a man to the father, and they have to go through confrontation now. That's the thing. Women will never have to confront both parents. Men do. And that's one pattern that I've noticed.
That's interesting. Shout out to my Haitians, bro. I be realizing that in New York, there's been a lot of times where I was vibing with somebody. I was like, yo, I fuck with this nigga.
Real vibe, yeah.
And then you find out that they Haitian. It's happened to me way too many times, bro. Way
too many times. It's a lot of us out here.
Yeah,
real quick,
yeah.
Shout out to my pops though. Like, I don't want nobody to think.
Yeah, shout out to your pops.
Like, my pops is one thing about my dad is we disagree.
For sure.
On everything.
For sure.
But we're present. It's one of those things of like, we're family.
Yeah, we family.
Like, I'm not going nowhere. I don't like it. I don't want to be here.
For sure.
But I'm here.
For sure.
And I'm gonna show up. And that's
what
my
family
father.
is, yeah.
Yeah. And it's same thing with me. It's like, I don't like how he acts. I don't like some of the stuff he does. But I call my dad daddy. That's just how I was raised to do it.
For sure.
Like, that's daddy. Like, that's pops. That's big homie. That's Papa Low. Like,
yeah.
And we rock like that. And
I mean, that's
so my father to death, man.
One
more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
The main reason I respect my father more than anything is because his character is shown. Him and my mother not together. Still present in the house. Still a father to us. My father could have left and lived a better life without us.
Yeah.
And I'm forever indebted to have a man in the house that takes care of me, my brother, and my sister. In the best way in the best way that he knows how to.
Yeah.
And that's what I had to expect. That's what I had to understand and respect about him. And it's my job to teach him from the mistakes that he's done with me. So my siblings live a way smoother life than I did.
Yeah. Making those sacrifices.
And it allows me also, because even, where there's cloud, there's rain. I mean, there's sunshine. It's like, yo, my father also taught me a lot of things that I need to sharpen up on as a man. Some things are just objective.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially as a father figure, as a brother figure. It's like, yeah. So shout out to my pop. Shout out to my whole family.
And sometimes you are your own person at the end of the day. Like, even though you're very much so both of your parents, you're something new. It took two people to make you. So a lot of the time it's like the growing pains be like, let me shine through. Let me be the individual that I am. Sometimes, like, your expectations of me or your parenting style is limiting my growth. You know what I mean? Like, literally what took two people to make, like, you're not allowing that to flourish to its full capacity because you think of what you think is doing the right thing, parenting wise.
Or sometimes they're just scared.
Yeah, I mean, that too.
We're talking about immigrant parents here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, immigrant parents, non-American parents, you know what I mean? There's similarities that can be drawn from it. There's plenty of things that, like, both of my parents had expectations for me to do that just didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, when I got tatted, my mom was very disappointed in that. You know what I mean? Very disappointed. She ain't like that. You know what I mean? And when I dropped out of college, they didn't like that. You know what I mean? They was very disappointed about that. When I dropped out because I wanted to chase a rap career, they was very disappointed in that. You know what I mean? They was like, what the fuck? Like, my son's a loser. You know what I mean? Like, this nigga smoking weed, hanging out in the streets. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, like, I had to be a man, though. You know what I mean? I had to carve out my own way. I had to take my own risks to manifest it into where we sitting at now, though. You know what I mean? But that couldn't happen if you... Listen, to really be a man, you got to go against what your parents want for you sometime. And that's a tough position to be in because you feel like you're no longer in their graces.
And you don't want to let them down.
You don't want to let them... Letting your parents down is trash, bro.
Letting them down and it's two things. You don't want to let them down, but you also... Because legacy matters.
It's everything.
Especially when your parents did the best that they can.
Oh yeah, that's why the grace is important.
Yeah, and then the other thing is
extend your parents' grace.
It's the fear of them being right if you go the wrong way.
Yeah, there's always that.
It's always the thing of like,
there's always that.
I cannot. I'm gonna drop out too, and I'm gonna drop out for a different reason. I didn't want to drop out. My mother had me and my mom had a huge falling out, and I decided to just not go back to school. Then I went back, and I'm like, ugh. Then I had some financial discrepancies. It is what it is. But like, it's I have to make this thing work.
Oh yeah, this got to work
because
for sure.
I do want to make you proud. For a fact, I want to make you proud. Because my parents, they just want me to make money. They want me to be successful. But two, I cannot let you know that she was right.
Yeah, not in this way. Not now.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Yep. It's like, no, I'm going to make this, I'm going to tell you about all the results, all the progress. You're going to see me travel. You're going to see me chase my dreams. You're going to see it work. And then like, when things started to pick up for me recently, like my mother took heed. Like, oh, you making it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga. I was scared. I was scared.
Yeah.
I was scared, nigga. I'm like, yo, what if I'm going? Like, I'm trying to move out soon. I'm like, yo, if I'm like past 27, 28, 29, like, I'm gonna give myself till 30 to move out, but I really want to be out by the end of by next year.
Nah, take your time, King.
I'm in New York. So it's like I have a little bit more grace of like,
for sure.
Take if you can afford this shit, you selling drugs, you doing a bunch of shit. But like that, the fear of one letting your parents down, but also to let them think they're right. Nah, you're crazy.
Yeah, I had to. It wasn't until I handed my mom my first mixtape that she started respecting it. You know what I mean? Because I'm taking unconventional paths to what it is I'm looking for. You know, we got the internet. The internet has empowered us to be aware of different ways. You know what I mean? My parents, they grew up in a white society where everything that they couldn't do, they was told they couldn't do it because of what degree they didn't have. You know what I mean? So of course, naturally, they'd be like, go to college. So then you don't got to mop floors like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to college. So then you don't got to worry about getting let off and then not having a bounce back plan or an emergency exit. You know what I mean? Emergency plan. They were just like, you got to give your parents grace because they're really doing the best they can with what they had, living in a completely different world than you did. So nigga living in the internet, I'm seeing niggas waving cameras around and being young and traveling and being on stages and shit like that. My parents don't know nothing about none of that.
At all.
That shit sound like, okay, that seemed like some cool shit, but it's not gonna last though. Go get you a degree in business technology or some shit like that, business
like
science
something
or whatever.
safe. Go get something
safe. You know what I mean? Like go get something that's like
steady. Yeah,
steady. You know, and then it took like me literally like I made a mixtape and I literally burned it on one CD and I gave it to her. You know what I mean? Let her listen to it. Came back home, had a beautiful conversation. She was just like, that shit was hard. You know what I mean? She was like, this what you've been doing? I'm like, that's what I've been doing. You know what I mean? She was like, this is good. You know what I mean? As long as you stay out of trouble and you if you're doing this, then I can, you know what I mean? I can give you my blessing on it. My dad, it took a little bit more time to come around, but I think me being in New York, because I'm from Texas, so me coming to New York City, I remember my dad told me like last year, he was like, I'm not gonna lie, like I thought you would have came back by now. You know what I mean? I thought you would have came back. And I'm not mad at him for saying that because I get it. You know what I mean? It's like this is one of the most expensive. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the most expensive cities in the world. And I've been here 5 years now though. But like sometimes as a kid, it's important for every kid to get to that point. When you get to that point in the fork in the road, make the right decision, bro, and bet on yourself. Because you're not gonna be able to live with not knowing. You know what I mean? Like I think about the version of me that wouldn't not take none of the risk. I don't like the way that version of me looked, bro. I really don't. Like I try to imagine what that guy looked like, where he would be, how he would feel. But majority people make that choice, I think. They make the choice to conform versus take the risk. I need to know. It's dark over there, but eventually I get to the light at the end of the tunnel, and then what I coming from out the tunnel is like, oh shit, look at all of this.
Yeah.
I gotta know what that's like because I've seen too many people take the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll never know what it's like to go through the tunnel and be lost for just a brief moment.
And the beauty about the other side is that other side will always be there. There's always
be
certifications. There. There's always
for
sure. Go to school, whatever. It's just, but when you're young and you have dreams and aspirations and you're physically able, right? And you're healthy
Or you
enough,
got this energy now.
and you don't
or
have
you
kids
strong.
and stuff like that. Like you're a
got
bit more
kids.
flexible to take these risks and take these losses. And if it doesn't
Even
work,
if you do got kids, shit.
you get what I'm saying? Even if you do, right? In this day and
Yeah.
age, like it doesn't matter
Mhm.
because like everything is pretty much digital.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know though, right? Because one thing that alleviated the pressure of my parents was like, so I'm pretty freaking viral,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing at least 1 million views a month on a post at least.
That's amazing.
For like since the top of the year.
Mhm.
I'm hot.
That's dog. respect.
Appreciate you, bro.
That's
Like,
amazing, bro. For real.
and it's like certain
Amazing.
months I got 2-3 videos doing like 4 or 5 mil, whatever. So
yeah, that's different.
right. So and then on top of that, like when I do communicate what I do for work on social media, sometimes some people like kind of pick up like, oh, like started working with brands, started traveling, started
Mhm.
making more money, and I'm
Yeah,
'cause
we're
of-
making them moves.
so people like noticing, and my father's friends have me on social media,
Mhm.
and even before anything started working out for me, like they used to always talk to him like, yo, you got a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's passionate.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and gets it.
That's part of the process
He's charismatic. So
of them
like,
changing.
that used to like people used to put it on
For sure.
put them
yeah.
on. And then I remember when my mom, so I also do my Haitian content that people love.
Mm-hmm.
Her co-worker, my parents are well off in their 60s.
Mhm.
My father mid to late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is a nurse, her age. So like my content travels to her coworkers.
That's hard.
So it's like, so her coworkers will come to the house and be like, "That's your son?"
Yeah.
Oh no. So it's like, and like those little moments, it makes it clear for her. And then I remember when I started the Airbnb. So Haitians, you know, I don't even say they, just parents, old school parents. They don't understand business, right? The investing aspect of things. They know
Mhm.
saving. They'll
Mhm.
save all day.
Yeah.
But they don't know. So I convinced my mom to start an Airbnb with me. She was scared. It took somebody else to tell her like, yo, I just made $10,000 in a month.
Mm-hmm.
For her to be like, yo, I
Mhm.
want to try this thing out.
Mhm.
Somebody her age has to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did it and we make a good amount of money from it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Beautiful.
but it then opened up her mind to like, I didn't need any degree
Yeah.
to make this much. So, and
Yeah.
it's those little moments when they start becoming receptive and starting to understand like, yo, and I've always made it clear like, yo, this is a different generation, it's a different country, it's a different time. Like,
Yeah.
so when she saw the Airbnb stuff work out, like, I don't even have a real estate degree,
Right.
but I can make enough money, buy another house, and
Right.
make this thing and property possibly
Now you start.
retire.
Now
a
you
little
start
early.
having foresight and start thinking long term. Like, oh, wait a minute.
But you also start looking at America for what it is.
Oh, of course.
The American dream, and it's like, oh,
course.
like this
Yeah.
is the American dream. Like
Yeah.
the American dream is not is make more, work less. Working, like my mom works for what she has. I said,
Mhm.
you'll never fully enjoy it. You'll never be grateful.
I know it.
No, you'll be grateful for the opportunity, but you'll never, because you're working so hard, you're gonna be entitled to all the money that you make.
It's like they say, work smarter, not harder.
Not harder, yeah.
We don't really know that. We wasn't socialized to understand that.
Mhm.
It's kind of like we was talking about earlier about gentrification. Like I was saying, like no
Talk
funny.
about that
Yeah,
too.
I was like, no funny shit. I'm kind of glad, like,
I want
motherfuckers
you to clip this
gentrifying
part
New
up.
York, bro. Because now that niggas in gentrify New York City, it has became a safer place.
A safer place. And we got to talk about that. Gentrification, like this whole topic of like gentrification and the black wealth thing, I'm all for it. Like, yeah, I would have been against gentrification if they also weren't cleaning up the criminals that came with it.
Right. That made it hard for anybody
made
to
it-
enjoy their neighborhood.
To enjoy the neighborhood. Like, let's be real. Like,
Nervous for your mom to come home walking from the station, walking to the crib, because all of these things.
yes. And I understand the socio-political aspect of it.
Yeah,
And
you
I-
got to consider everything, though.
No, facts. But safety is always number one. Like,
Oh, it has to be.
because you don't live to see it, anyways.
How we got anything else if we not comfortable?
And the thing, and that's the thing that pissed me off the most. Where it's like people talk about it so much. I'm like, yo, yes, prices are obnoxious,
Yeah.
undeniable.
And I'm not happy about people being displaced from their homes and being
Not
pushed
at
out to
all.
other places. However, for the people that gotta be here and that's still here, or even me, like not being from here, when I tell you about all the fucking horror stories that I heard from people that's just here,
Mhm.
lived here, like being robbed. I done met niggas who robbed people back in the day, and they be telling me them stories. I'm like, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah. And it's not that these things are not happening. They're just not happening at the maximum.
At the same rate, yeah.
It's just, no, like my father got beat up for delivering pizza. My dad is old Haitian dude, minding his business, trying to make his money, come back to his family, delivering pizza one time, just getting beat up in these neighborhoods. And, you know, my friend got beat up almost to the pulp, to death. You know, had to do like a month in a coma because of like, no, like, these are the things that they don't speak about. And I'm tired of like black people
conversations.
Huh?
When they having gentrification conversations, they leave this part out for some reason.
And I'm tired of like black people acting like the severity of these things don't matter. And like the overall, like the Dr. Umar effect, like the overall idea, the overarching theme is like, no, we have to be all the way black and pro. Nah, dogs. Like not all black people are the same. Like, and we have to deal with each other every day. And I have to figure out how to move with this person. I told you about my encounter coming up here. Like, I have to, I'm aware and I'm paranoid because I might be at danger. And I'm not trying to say this is a black person thing. I'm speaking on the community and the environment I grew up in. Like, no, kids used to walk to school and get beat up for being for walking by the projects that they have to walk by.
Kids was getting robbed by grown-ass men.
You get what I'm saying? So gentrification, along with, you know, because, you know, with gentrification brought in new police regimes, right? It's like, okay, we're going to move white people in. Now we got to keep the white people safe.
Yeah.
That's how white people, a lot of the corner boys and the gangsters was able to leave the neighborhood because it was like, oh, it's too much cops here. Now, why is there too much cops here? Because they're going to keep the white people safe or the wealthy safe. So it's like, it all goes hand in hand. And I'm tired of like, you know, the savior complex that we all try to have for the collective when, you know, a lot of times it's holding us back from advancing. And that's just the reality of it. And I sympathize and empathize with, you know, the community as a collective.
Of course.
But
of course.
in real time, like these things have real effects.
Yeah.
You know, even as far as like the schooling system's getting better, even as far as like transportation being a bit better. Yes, it costs more and we have to figure it out from there. But people started to make it home safe. I walk around Flatbush, I see white people walking their dogs past
people all through New York City.
Past 11 o'clock.
Taking a nice little night stroll.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
walking their dog.
It's safer. It's like the culture that came with this. I'm all for it. I don't agree again with the prices of things because, you know, it's hard to buy property here.
Oh, the pricing in New York City is outrageous, bro. It's almost as if they don't want people to be here.
I don't want to be here anymore.
Really? You got
I'm done.
You done?
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to go to Miami. It's my city. It's like it's New York, but a bit
and warmer, better weather,
bigger,
better prices. Miami is not super expensive. Not as expensive as New York.
It's not as so property's not as expensive as New York.
Okay.
And there's no taxes.
Okay.
So, but it is just as expensive, like lifestyle wise, like food costs the same, right? Like cost of living costs the same, but you'll get more for your buck.
And that's the whole thing. Like, I think it's inevitable that I end up moving back to Texas because whenever I go home to Dallas, the money stretched so much further. And it's almost sick how much more affordable the Ubers are, the food, the drinks, everything is sick, bro. You like literally like I could get in a $20 Uber that'll take me way further in Dallas.
Yep.
I done spent an $80 Uber getting from here to the Bronx like several times, leaving this bitch late at night, you know? And it's just like $80 to $100, bro. I could almost buy a plane ticket for that. I don't know. If I find a good ticket, I could leave somewhere, bro. I could cross state lines and go somewhere, you know what I mean? So, and we don't even want to talk about how much I pay in rent. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Like for a room, right? Or like an apartment?
For whatever it is.
No, it's not. She work.
For the room or the apartment.
Like with 2,500, like especially like here, what 2,500 would get you here, it'll get you 4 times in Florida, anywhere else, to be honest.
2,500 in Texas will get you a front yard, a backyard, maybe 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, nice neighborhood. Easy. That's not even like a stretch. It's like easy. Like this, is that what you want? You got 25 to give a month? Go get it. That's yours. You can have that.
Yeah.
And that's just not fair, bro.
I think what comes with New York though is the culture, the prestige.
Oh, you come here to triple your worth. That's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Like you come here to
You
triple
can
your
make it
worth.
here, you can make it anywhere.
Everything that I'm doing in New York City, I was doing when I was back home. Everything. Same hustler, same grind, same ethic. But what I got in New York City was tenfold what I was getting in Dallas.
Yeah.
Because the infrastructure of New York is one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
The infrastructure is outrageous here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like you can literally come from out of nowhere and get aligned with somebody through proxy or DM and get work. And then you work that situation, and then your situation multiplies and it multiplies. And it's like that happens with a lot of people here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You can make it here. I always love that line. And
Though I don't agree with that statement though.
why?
Because it's like, of course you can make it in New York. Like you have all the resources to make it.
No,
in
but
New York.
it's it's the nuances though. It's like it's too saturated.
Mhm.
It's overpopulated. So your odds are just less. Like what's your biggest dream or goal? Like what do you want to be?
My biggest dream and goal, I just want to provide for my family.
Give me a job title. Doing what?
As of right now, curating and creating my own content.
That's fairly new. Give me something from 5 years ago.
Music.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the mecca of hip hop.
Right.
You're
right.
You're better getting exposure. How the baby got exposure
in Atlanta?
In a small in North Carolina, smaller city.
I don't agree with that.
No, I'm just putting it into perspective as to like if you can dominate that area and get that group of it's too much people for us to latch onto right now. Like it's not like back then where remember we're in a digital streaming era.
Mm-hmm.
So I can pick my favorite artist now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have to it doesn't just have to be what the radio is giving me.
Right.
Or what this executive label owner just picked at a showcase or whatever. Like no, like I can it's a lot more people and it became way more tangible. And again, look, we spoke about this earlier, like the drill wave. Like they gave us a bunch of drill rappers, locked them up, and like there's way more losses here in that type of in the arts. I'll just say in the arts in general. Like you'll make way more money here being a doctor. You'll make way more money here being
for sure.
Not necessarily a business owner, but like
I get what you're saying.
Like the job title, like you'll get more in New York.
It
like
costs more money to live here, but you get more money.
But you also get more money.
But one thing that
same thing with B&Bs too. Like what I'm charging for a night is what for a studio apartment is what I pay in Florida for a place with a pool.
Nah, right. But one thing that you should consider though is that like you brought up the baby. The thing about the difference between in the South though, you gotta in order for you the baby makes like I wouldn't say he makes trap music, you know what I mean? But he makes trap adjacent kind of style music. It's more recognizable to the ears though.
Yeah.
In the South, it's a lot harder for somebody to then be like
different
and then get the same attention. You know what I mean? So it's like the dope boy backdrop of music has always been profitable. It's always been marketable. It's always been really easy to scale that up. You know what I mean? So if you're doing that, you're gonna have some success in that versus but it's hard to try to be Nas in a place like that though. You know what I mean? It's hard to try to be any young nigga who like lyrical or has a some type of alternative style to that versus in New York City.
Yeah,
they're having a fond appreciation for it already. You know what I mean? And then it's like when you in the South, you know what I mean? Or almost anywhere outside of America, it's like, it's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. And that applies everywhere. But it's like, if I'm a dope ass rapper, I still gotta be at the right place at the right time, which is very limited in itself. Like, who are them niggas and when do they be in the city and how will I ever even know that to even give them a chance to like hear my music?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus a place like New York City, it's like your chances of getting closer to whoever it is you're trying to get close to is just, it comes from so many directions. Like there's so many ways somebody can get close to you in this city.
Facts. I think also there's the competition factor here in anything and everything. It's just super heavy. Like it's super competitive.
Yeah.
But Yeah, when I say like you could, if you make it here, you could make it anywhere, is because we're the hardest to please. We think we're the coolest thing on the planet.
I feel that.
So it's like if you go to the South, people are way more nicer, way more supportive.
Yeah.
Like New York, like there's a look and a vibe. Like there's
Yeah.
audiences there, but there's crowds and niches though.
But at least they recognize a look and a vibe. In the South, they might not even recognize your look or your vibe. They don't even, like, you trying to do something, they be like, I don't know what you're trying to do.
Yes. Okay, so I can agree to that, because with me traveling out, I do see these small,
You know,
smaller
like you
things.
could be like, oh, like I dress like this
Yeah.
and I make music like that, and they're gonna be like, you're weird.
Yeah. Well, they'll say that here too, but there's just a niche. Like you could find your crowd here.
Yes,
I get you.
100%.
But here it's also, again, because of the competition, and we're strict. We're very hard on, the people who represent the city. And that's why I always look at it like when you look at the hot spots of not just simply music. Even if you look at music, New York is a spot for all the genres,
For sure.
right?
That's
So
the Mecca.
it's the mecca of music. You had, Frank Sinatra,
Mhm.
Jay-Z, and
Come
like
on, bro.
Nas, and you
Too
got
much.
you got a bunch of these people, and then I know
Actors.
actors is different too.
You know what I mean? Like New York
Athletes.
got it, bro.
Yeah, New York, New Jersey area. So
yeah.
for a fact, I think it's easier. I think it's definitely is easier to make it here, but it's also just as hard because we're the standard.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard.
I get what you're saying.
It's the standard here. Like we're not as lenient. Like there's a reason why the people at the forefront of New York, anything, are loud, obnoxious people.
For
From
sure.
the 50 Cents to the Jay-Z's, and even though they communicate differently,
Yeah.
the attitude and the personality
For sure.
is that of a New Yorker.
For sure.
Compared to like when you look at, the Southerners, they a bit way more calm. Like look at Lil Baby from Atlanta, right? Like he got like he a little bit more like chilling.
Reserved, laid back, cool, calm, collected.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So those, even Future, right? Future's real calm dude, like real like I don't really want to say too much. Same thing with Young Thug. Like when you look at those people, like, you kind of see see the differences, but like New York is the standard.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hard, because like if we're gonna pick you to be the one, right? Think about it, right? J. Cole made it out of the city, although he's from where he's from.
Right.
We still don't put J. Cole, like we don't even want him. Really, like what? Like there's New Yorkers that want Tupac, right? Tupac made it on the West Coast, but he lived on the East Coast for a long time. Came from Baltimore, lived in New York. Yeah, like people there's a lot of people that jack Pac from New York because he has that. Yeah, like young nigga, like I'm outside vibe.
I get what you're saying.
So it's completely different.
I never thought about it like that, but that actually makes a lot of sense.
Like J. Cole made it out of Queens here.
Yeah.
He like this how he linked up Jay-Z and all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
So nigga, go back to North Carolina. We fuck with you, like you great, you dope.
Yeah.
But you not Jay. You not 50.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You not what it, because we can't relate to you. All that shit that you on, nah, we ain't on that. Like, we on that 50 time and like, oh yeah, we like bullies.
Which is why they like accept Griselda so much.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I want to switch it on content real quick. What has content taught you about human nature?
Human nature in what regards?
Like me making content, I've had to realize that it's not about what I want, it's about what the people want. And then I've had to realize, like, what are people even attracted to in the first place? What gets somebody to engage with your content? Like when you say you got high engagement, like there's a reason why you got high engagement, because you speaking to something. You know what I mean? These are things that I had to learn through making content that I didn't know before.
It's funny. I had this conversation with myself today, and what content has taught me, because I've been doing content forever. I've been doing it since I left I've been doing it in high school since I left high school. I just did it in different capacities. So I was always a performer. I was always a poet. I was always an artist. I was always a creator. So one thing it did teach me though is there's a metric. Everything has an algorithm. And it's not always the digital algorithm that we talk about online about how your post moves. No, humans have an algorithm. Humans have an algorithm to react. And once you get enough eyes and you have the algorithm of consistency and you build these things, there's a metric system now that measures the success rate and what you deem success. for me now, you know, doing millions of views, like when I was 16, 17, I was like, yeah, I want to get millions of views. I have to find a way to make it lucrative. I have to find a way to, all right, how do I capitalize on this? Going viral now doesn't mean as much as going viral when you first came out.
That's a fact.
So it's a bunch of these nuances that you kind of got to deal with. But one thing I realize is that what stimulates people, whether they like it or not, as long as they're stimulated,
Exactly.
is what the goal is.
Exactly.
It's like you want a reaction.
Exactly.
That's why I'm so divisive a lot of times.
You gotta feel. They gotta make them feel something.
You have to make them pick a side, right? So like, and I have the content rule book, and I'm fixing it up right now to talk about these type of things, because I'm gonna sell this part. It's like, no, like when I'm the most divisive. That's why I like the poll feature on Instagram now. It's like,
love it.
I will pick a side, because now that causes diversion in conversation. Compared to if you say something that everybody agrees to, it could still do well. But if you have a side that disagrees and a side that agrees, they get to talk to each other now.
Yeah.
And you build that community of conversation and you get your engagement going.
Right.
That's why I'm always like I'm very specific with what I say and what I do, because
everything is intentional. The wording,
yes,
captioning,
and getting the reactions out of it. Like, yes, the ladies are gonna love me on this post, and the guys gonna hate me here. The guys are gonna hate me here. They're gonna hate the ladies over here. So it's always that. And then, you know, I'm in my wholesome phase now, where I still want to be a bit more. I still want to be disruptive, but I don't want to be an asshole anymore.
Yeah, you're not going for the cheaper attention.
Right, yeah, I'm not. Like, my clickbait skills, I'm tough now. Like, I realized I remember I did my Beyonce skit, like, I got a good reaction out of it, over 500,000 views. Some of the artists seen it. That was on the album. I'm sure Beyonce probably did see it. I hope she did, but even if she didn't, I was able to navigate through more wholesome content that stimulate people. But the thing is, like, you just want to get the eyes there so you can start doing what you really want to do.
For sure.
Once people start rocking with you, like, I can say I'm getting to the point where, like, people are rocking with me.
Yeah. Not
what I'm saying, not me having my shows. Like, no, they're rocking with me. Like, oh, because once they tap in, they lock in, and you're like, oh my God, he works so hard. Oh my God, he has like a community of people that he loves and he cherishes. Oh my God, he's working with this person and that person. He's putting them on. And like, when people start to notice like the other things about you, that's when they really become fans of you. And that's how like people end up stopping you and having conversations like, yo, I'll meet people that's like, yo, keep doing your thing with the pod. Then I'll meet people that are like super stimulated by like everything that I do. Like, yo, bro, you get busy, you work hard. Like, I get my DMs get flooded with people that I inspire. And I'm also always grateful for that, because that's always been my goal of like, yeah, like I want to inspire people.
For sure. That's the only thing I really care about.
Yeah, because it's also like, I never liked the idea of you have to be this person to get. No, like, no, it's not. That's not how life works, right? Like, think about it. Denzel actually spoke about this. Me and Eagles spoke about this the other day. Like, Denzel spoke about this thing of like, actors can't move the same way now, right? Before it was about being more exclusive and prestige. Look at every actor's rollout.
Yeah,
they're collaborating with influencers.
Yeah,
the Bad Boys rollout, Kabi.
Yeah, crazy.
Right, so it's like, so now the value is within the people.
Yeah.
The thing with Kabi is, any one of us could be Kabi. Not every one of us could be Will Smith. That's a different type of skill set.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once you realize that and you get to tapping into the emotions of everybody, and it also like from a business standpoint now, not even just a creator standpoint, from a business standpoint, is how do you leverage it when you want to sell your product? How do you how you stay relevant when you're down on your luck or down on your ass, or the algorithm is down and your engagement is low? Like, how do you stay consistent? You know, how do you stay passionate? How do you, again, this is why I like the alternative content. It's like, it builds a different audience and it builds a different personality. Now, when these people meet in the middle, that's when you get the beautiful audience that you want, of like, oh, they like me for this, they like me for this. They're gonna meet right here. Whatever I give them, they're gonna take now.
Yeah.
And
that's a sweet place that I'm looking forward to getting to.
Yeah.
For sure. I think I still got a lot to prove on the front end. You know what I mean? But like, I look forward to getting. That's why like, I had to get to a point where I realized like, don't just try to be good at one thing. Give them everything. Give them you, because you are the brand. You
start tapping into the music. Start doing all that. Like, And like again, I slowed down in music. Like my last big song, I did over what 300,000 streams now.
Mhm.
But I did I wrote a song about a girl. All the girls loved it, yada yada. But
Mhm.
I promoted the crap out of it.
Mhm.
Also, I had a platform at the time with like 60,000 followers at the time.
Mhm.
Now we're at 88, 100K coming soon.
Talk your shit, man.
Yeah, and
It's beautiful.
and the last 20,000 came from like skits. So like
It's crazy how it all feed back into each other.
that was the goal though. Like,
the goal, yeah.
Yo, and it's crazy. Like, I'm able to talk about it now, but like my friends can tell you. Like, I had a conversation. I'm like, yo, I want this to be a faceless platform. I said, yo, I want to end up being like kind of like the shade room for content one day, like because I wasn't able to. I don't have the bandwidth to do as much episodes or whatever. So I'm like, yo, all right, the Instagram is hot. The YouTube is growing, everything else is growing, but the Instagram is hot. My TikTok is hot. I'm gonna maximize this to the best of my abilities. So the first couple ones, I built the habit of like, all right, cool. I'm gonna post my skits. They're gonna have to just get used to it. They're here now. If they want to unfollow it, they can unfollow. But But I also know there's billions of people in this world. I also know there's gonna be a group of people that follow me
Absolutely.
for this thing.
Absolutely.
And it's about getting them, and it's gonna start with the people that are already here. So it became a thing of like I told my friends, I said, yo, we're not shooting as often, so let's lock in on a short form. Started doing my skits, drop my poetry here and there, might promote my music here and there. But I have a platform to promote whatever I want to promote on.
You're doing everything. You're giving them everything.
Everything. And it's opening again. Like you might not like podcast me. You might like artist me. Cause like podcast me shits on women. Artist me praises women. Right? Like it get like that. Like I make music that uplift women. I make women feel like they're the baddest bitch on the planet.
Right.
That's the music that I make. Podcast me.
Yeah.
I'm toxic.
Yeah.
Right? Or I was very toxic on my pod. And that's kind of how we
disruptive, like you said.
Very disruptive. And then, poetic me. I'm a bit woke and spiritual and conscious.
Yeah.
And like, so I get to tap in onto, and it's like the black man is always supposed to be an anomaly. I'm an anomaly. I want to do everything. I think I can do everything. And plus, my biggest thing is, when you first spoke about content in the episodes, like, I'm results driven.
Absolutely.
So
it's hard not to be.
I have to get 100,000 streams on my song to feel like I'm doing good at it as an independent artist that's not financially investing into the music. So if I do 100,000 streams with no money put behind it, imagine if I get algorithmic plays, if I do payola.
For sure.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, like, you look at one of my songs right now, you'll see like over 600, 700 reels made with it because of just my marketing ability.
Yeah, that's amazing. Bro.
So I have these things and these qualities that I sharpen and master, and I'm still sharpening and mastering because like I want to know, again, when I get into corporate now, it's like there's a system for that, right? It's like I always have a problem with corporate, especially with bigger companies, because like you guys don't really have to do nothing because the company, let's say it's Coca-Cola or something. You guys are Coca-Cola. You have the marketing budget for it where the minute you put your name on this and the minute that you put $1 million, $10 million behind this product, it's going to push. That's why I always felt like my leverage was like, I don't have that type of money to push my product or push my content.
You got to create that natural buzz, natural wave.
I have organic audience.
Organic audience, yeah. And thank God that you can even have organic because you're right, corporations use millions of dollars at their will to market shit. And it's like, I don't have that. But what I can do is I can learn the psyche of human beings and then get them to help me do the work. Which brings me to, do you have a checklist for your content? Like when you're making content and you know it's time to prepare to make something else, are there certain things that you know you gotta hit that you're looking forward to hitting for it to do well, to perform well?
Before I did, and that was when like I wasn't getting the numbers that I was getting. Now it's kind of like a no-brainer because like people are now, because like once you go viral enough, like I have like I started creating series, right? Like my Sassy series is like my biggest series ever.
Yeah, no, that series went nuts,
right?
Bro,
like shout out to Charlamagne. Like that series itself, it drives. And I started like recently, I started my FaceTiming series. What I call after a major event, like I call my girl. That went nuts. And I was like, I didn't expect that to go nuts. Right? So it became a thing of like, I started this new series the other day of me singing in the car. just did 1 million views on that.
Mm.
And it's like, all of it is intentional too. Cause I'm like, all right, because I'm traveling and working so much and trying to make my money, I'm like, I need to do like simple content right now. I can't link up everybody. I can't come up with crazy ideas. I'm gonna give people a feeling, right? Like, who doesn't love nostalgia? Who doesn't love old school music? And I like, there's a smile that I have, there's an aura that I have. And I did one with my homegirl that went crazy, and then the other one started going crazy. So like, I'm expecting everything to go crazy. Like I was always delusional. I never thought I had a bad idea. I always knew that it just wasn't my time and I didn't have the audience yet.
Yeah.
I always said, once I have the audience, everything I do is gonna do numbers.
Yeah.
That's why if you look on the page and you see my posts, like numbers do fairly well. So it just reassured me, like I wasn't bugging a couple years ago. It just wasn't time
Yeah,
yet.
for sure, it wasn't time.
Some
other things had to happen first.
I've been doing this stuff. I've been doing it. So it's like, so I would tell my friends, they get a bit more surprised and they have they have the checklist thing going on. With me, whatever I post, I'm expecting to go crazy. And if it doesn't go crazy, guess what? In a couple of months, 100K, I'm gonna post it again.
For sure.
We're gonna repurpose it and we're gonna move it. We're gonna keep moving it. And I think it's that cycle of like, depending on what my agenda is, like for example, now that I'm trying to get more brand deals and I'm trying to do a bit more stuff, I have to clean up, right? I have to clean up content, no cursing, no sexual stuff, because of how and where that I want to get to. But to have built the platform, I was loud, obnoxious. I was at times promiscuous. I was at times I wasn't always the best.
For sure.
Like
you was being disruptive, like you said.
But guess who I looked up to my whole life? Charlamagne.
Yeah.
So
the poster boy for all of them things.
So, and you know, it's crazy. I met Charlamagne twice. Shout out to Art. Art Pat put me on.
Shout out to Art, man. It's my nigga.
Yeah, and this situation, it doesn't hurt yet. So he had the book signing for his book, Why Small Talk Sucks. Art told me like, yo, pull up there, just chop it up with him, get the book signed, chop it up with him, yada yada. I did everything in my power to get there on time. I was with somebody that, you know, whatever. I got to give him, but I made sure that I prepared like a letter for him as to why, like Charlamagne played a big role in my growth. Because we got to watch Charlamagne be hated.
Oh, for sure. The rebrand is crazy.
We got to watch him be hated, damn near beat up. Right, Charlamagne when he still was going through his cosmetic phase, like he was like
chairs and shit.
You get what I'm saying? And now he's
crazy
front line of the mental health regime.
Absolutely.
Great representation of the community.
Best-selling author.
So like watching that and knowing that I'm allowed the growing pains. Right, and the thing is, like, I came to Charlamagne, like, I hopefully he opened the letter because it looked like I served him papers. My thing is, my assist in regards to Charlamagne is like, yo, Charlamagne, I already have a growing platform. I just want conversation. I don't want a job.
Yeah. I don't want nothing from you, just a relationship.
Yeah, just let me chop it up with you. Let me, because I feel like I can relate to you. Because I met him when I was 17 at the airport. I took a video with him. So like that's why he reposted me. It meant so much to me because him out of all people was like,
yeah, it was a full circle.
Yo, bro, I look up to you, bro. Like,
yeah,
like I always Breakfast Club interviews on my bucket list. Like the Grammys are not on my bucket list. Breakfast Club interview is, the NBA All-Star game is, like the things that I really enjoyed watching. So when Charlamagne, you know, sees me again, it's like, oh no, like this is what I told myself when I was 17. Like, yo,
this was gonna happen.
Cause I told him, I said, yo, you're gonna see me again. I told him that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, you know, but seeing like the growth and the grace of life itself, amongst the content, like we're all gonna grow because everybody's also growing with us. Our core audience, 9 times out of 10, are the people that can relate to us, which is people our age. Yeah. So as they grow, our content is growing with them.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're like a kid streamer. Yeah. Other than that, if you're if you're an adult and you're doing content, you have to be aware of your audience and the demographic of it, being that the content has to stimulate the position in life that they're in. That's why, again, right now, think about it. My baptism was so stimulating to a lot of my audience because a lot of us are going through that transitional phase. A lot of us are getting married. I'm 25. So people are getting married, people are settling down, people are giving up on their dreams, people are believing in
All of
God.
that.
People have
All of that.
went through so much in their early teens and early 20s.
And that keeps happening. Another 5 years from now, that keeps happening, interestingly enough.
So it's your audience has to grow with you and they have to notice your growth.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, yo, I'm at that point now though where I know when I make a hit.
Mhm.
Like every million views I've ever gotten, million plus views I've ever gotten,
You
I've
know.
called it. Yeah,
Yeah.
off rip. Like, and my friends would be like so surprised, and I'm like, that's disrespectful. I've been doing this for years
Yeah.
now.
After a while, it's patterns.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's patterns. It's human behavior recognition. You know what I mean? It becomes real cyclical after a while. It's
sometimes
like,
it just becomes just confidence though.
oh, for sure.
And-
I mean, yeah, the more you do it, the more you just step
The
out
more
there.
you
You
know.
just pop out.
If I say this
Mhm.
like this,
For sure.
it's gonna be that.
That's the scary part sometimes too, because it's like you said, like you kind of changing the way you utilize your content. But like it was easy once I realized that like I could like easily get people engaged by pissing them off through relationships, men or women. Just kept doing that. You know what I mean? And then it was just working over and over again. It was like, oh shit, it's way more people now.
Mhm.
Like I got
Following going up.
I got a reel that somebody stole, right? Like when I posted it, it did okay. It did like 700,000.
Mhm.
The person who, I don't want to say stole because I think it all feeds back into helping you. But the person who took it, this shit did 10 million, bro.
Mhm.
And it's
I
like,
know what you're talking about. I seen it.
and it's like when you see that, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, man, it's
Mhm.
tempting to want to just do that. So that's why I mean it gets hard when you once you recognize it working, it's like, hold on. But you don't just stay here. Now you find out how to do that in the other ways though, which is a little bit more difficult.
Elisha, when I started my solo show. My biggest fear was like, yo, are they gonna like because my solo show is way more calm, way
Yeah.
more wholesome, way
Mhm.
more like different
Yeah,
conversation,
not as much like energy.
rowdy stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like he was like, you'll know how good you are if you start going viral for that version
Yeah,
of you.
that's a fact.
And
That's a good game.
the minute he said it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm already as cocky as people think I am. I'm more than that. Like the minute he said it, it's like, oh, I'm that. Like I really think I'm that. So
Mhm.
when my second episode goes viral, I'm not surprised.
Mhm.
Like I had my clip. It's still going crazy right now because I'm very performative, right? I asked homegirl. Shout out to the nail doctor because I flew out to North Carolina to shoot my first episodes.
That's hard.
Yeah,
That's hard.
yeah, and I was very strategic. I built a network with my original platform.
Mhm.
Why not use it? I'm like, if you think I'm gonna build my solo show by myself, you're crazy.
Right.
I built a platform with my friends that gave me access to other people, and I've
Right.
done a bunch of other things. So I asked the girl what I asked. I said, "Yo, a man has to ask you out for y'all to be in a relationship," and that's me being performative.
Mhm.
Cause I know what I knew.
Know what it's gonna do.
I'm editing in my head, like, oh yeah, I'm going. This clip. The minute it dropped,
Mm-hmm.
it went crazy. So, yeah, but that delusion and that confidence that comes with this, again, like I had to be confident in I'm just confident in anything that I do. So if I make the decision to do it, I'm going to do it the best that I can.
I mean, of course.
So that's the results though is like the results are bound. I'm expecting it every time, even if it doesn't hit every time. It's gonna hit him because it's like I always look at it like Kim Kardashian could post anything and she's gonna get whatever because she's Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
It's
at
just
that
a matter
point.
of just building yourself to be that person and have that same impact. Because I want to talk about this real quick. There's a metric system for
Mhm.
everything, right? There's a result. It's results. You got to measure your numbers because it's never just talent. No matter how talented you are, you have to measure it.
Yeah.
You have to see what audience it's for. You have to see how much money you're making off of it.
Man.
So everything has an algorithm. Like everything, there's a metric system. There's things that matter. And that's what I want people to really be aware of. It's like,
Yeah.
no matter how good you are at something or
Yeah.
how dope everybody's telling you are,
Yeah.
it doesn't
There's a science
necessarily
to this shit.
matter
Mm-hmm.
if you cannot show the results for it.
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're not doing it as a hobby and you want to do this as a career, the results matter because you're gonna need to make your media deck. You're gonna need to make your results deck. These are things that people measure you by. A good song is not as good as a good song. What makes a good song, right? What you can like it personally. When you listen to a lot of music that you don't like, why? The popularity of it is what matters. Is basically what I'm saying. It's like
I get you.
That's just the system we're in. So when we see, that's how people measure success. How much other people are listening to you. How much other people care about you. And that's why I tell people all the time, the metric system matters. It's like, no, like, especially when you're doing the public perception game of like, you're selling to the public how everybody else is. Yeah, so you want your song to stream like this. You want to get millions of listens and you want to be on charts and stuff like that because that's what's measuring what everybody else cares about because those things are what add the star factor, right? It's like, oh, like this person works for that person been here, that person won this award. And it's like, yeah, but that shit was whack.
Right.
But it matters because
does matter.
Yeah, your stuff is good and I might like it better, but there's a level of prestige and credibility that is just mandatory in this game.
In this space, like you said, in this game, in this space, these numbers, they help people understand you better. Sometimes when somebody comes to your profile, it matters to them that you don't have a certain amount of followers or your reels don't do a certain thing. And it's like, it's not about, your content could be great. You know what I mean? The message could be good, but it helps people validate you more. And regardless about how you feel about that, whether you feel like that's shallow or whatever, that's just the way it works. It doesn't work like that for everybody, but for the greater totality of people, that's what they care about. And so you cater to that to get to the greater good of what it is that you even trying to do in the first place. It's just, you got to play the game. You got to be in the matrix sometimes.
I always said this, even on my grind up. I looked at everybody around me. I used to roll with rapper Dusty Locane, and I used to try to do a lot or whatever. And I would just tell him like, yo, I'm not bad at what I do. Credibility matters. I just started to chase credibility because it's not gonna be a thing. Like even if my video is not as good as that other person, they're not gonna be more credible than me.
Right.
Like if you see my deck now with all the brands on it, if I charge you $2,500, that's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
If I charge you 10 bands, that's what you're paying for.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what these companies are paying.
Yeah, for sure.
For minimal work.
Yeah.
So, and that's just life. It's your network. Your network is your net worth. Your resources is your net worth. And that's the sad reality of it. No matter how talented you are, you're credible. I was watching a video with like Deion Sanders, one of his kids today, and 1 second, bro.
Yeah, do you think?
God forbid it's an emergency.
Yeah, do you think?
Mommy, is this an emergency? What happened? Okay. No. Check is fully. I'm on a show. My phone bagay. Masuka mira. Jesus Christ.
No,
Pardon me.
You good.
Keep that in there too.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna need that clip.
Speaking the Creole and shit, I love that.
Oh my God. But yeah, I was watching this video of Deion Sanders' son, and he was like, on a panel. And I'm not a hater. Shout out to everybody doing their thing because I know how the game works. But I also know like, because even with my own stuff, I'm very critical of my own stuff. Where it's like, I stopped valuing quality, bro. I started valuing results. So if I could do less, make more, and get more eyes to like it. So like, if I could do a bad video for a celebrity, and that's how the game treated me. So I started to treat the game that type of way. And
that's an interesting place to get to because I've entered that place too.
It takes so much to do great quality work.
That's an yes.
It takes so much.
That part.
So when it takes the life out of you, you're like, yo, you know what? And you see people doing less.
And you get less for it, by the way.
Right? So it's like, nah, like, all right, cool, I'm gonna meet the game where it's at.
You're gonna meet the game where it's at.
And
bro.
I'm gonna do
Come on, bro.
I'm gonna do less and I'm gonna make more because that's just capitalism.
Because it's bigger than you. You gotta understand that again, nobody's bigger than the program, right? It's like a lot of the time making content, a lot of people come in like, I consider myself being an artist before, right? So it's like, oh, I'm sensitive about my shit. Like, I know the way.
Pride.
This is how I feel, pride. You know what I mean? And then you come into content and then you hopefully learn sooner than later, like, okay, I'm not gonna scale up thinking like that. I can't tell people I'm serving hamburgers. Nigga said we want Alfredo. Give me Alfredo. I don't give a fuck. This could be the best Angus beef, whatever the fuck, sirloin steak. It don't matter on that. I don't give a fuck, nigga. That's not what I asked. You got to give people what they ask for. So I'm coming from a traditional background of knowing how to operate mirrorless cameras and shit like that. I got editing software, laptop, all that shit, right? That shit is not even performing nearly half as good as some shit that I just did off of my phone.
Yep.
Not even nearly half
That
as
reality.
good. You know, and it's like when you quality, right? You thinking it's a standard of excellence that you want to adhere to every single time, but then you put it out and you put it out and you realize like it doesn't resonate with people as well for so many reasons, right? But then you, okay, let me dumb it down. Let me strip away all the layers that I'm trying to add to this and just make it simple, digestible, something that they're already used to seeing. Boop, 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 just scale all the way up. Quick million, quick couple of thousand. All I had to do was drop my ego. As soon as I drop my ego, I got a step closer to everything that I wanted. That's a lot of people don't realize that, bro. It's like I dropped quality for efficiency.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's why Starbucks gives
Come on.
the type of food that they give.
Come on.
And they're able to produce efficiently.
Come on, McDonald's.
Warm that
Come
joint
on.
up. Warm it up.
Efficiency.
Because it's and that's just the reality of when you want to win in this life, win in this world. And again, you don't
take it so personal. Yeah, it is what it is.
You don't want to cheat the world and its people, but like we got to stop having this mom and pop shop idea of catering to the community.
Yeah.
When we want greater for ourselves, we can still cater to community. Like there's still other ways to do it. You could always bring it back. You could always pass it forward.
For sure. Like Charlamagne did.
Your livelihood matters.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes you have to sacrifice.
Yeah. This is a tough conversation.
Survivor's remorse is real.
Yeah, this is a tough conversation.
And it's the reality of like you'll have more impact in the long run when everything is all said and
done. You'll be more of service, more helpful.
You'll be way more helpful.
Yeah, for sure. If you just put your ego down real quick.
You just put it down right now.
Yeah.
Take, like suffer.
Yeah.
And then in the long run, you succeed. And it gets like that. Real quick with the Deion Sanders son thing, like I guess he does their videos and stuff like that. And again, your father's Deion Sanders. Your brother is Shador.
It's different.
I get the giving people a platform thing to speak on their successes. Not all success is created equal. You get what I'm saying?
None of it is.
Your story's always going to be different.
Yeah.
And, I'm a fan of my daddy being who my daddy is because I want my son, my kids will never go through half of the struggles that I went through.
Absolutely.
I swear to God. They will never know what debt feels like. They will never know what bad credit feels like.
Absolutely.
They will never know certain things. I don't care how much it builds character because I'm bitter, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm entitled. That's what it did for me. So you are not going to go through all of that. I'd rather you struggle with some other stuff that I don't know about.
Yeah, for sure.
I know what this feels like.
New struggles.
So, yeah. So with that being said, it's one of those things of like, not to discredit the dude's work or anything like that. It's just, your dad is hot. Your brother's hot.
It's different for you.
Certified success.
Yeah, you don't got to get it out the mud the same way.
It's not. So it's like this, and there is this sense of competitiveness from the people like us that don't have that extra handout or that opportunity at the moment. There is like that thing of like, nah, like I would have did this better.
Yeah.
This would have looked better if I did it. I get you know how much marketing campaigns that I watch, and I'm just like, oh my God, they're doing it wrong. But it's like it's also this company, right? I'm on LinkedIn all day. I'm watching people brag about their new positions. I'm like, yo, all you guys are doing are posting phone clips and recaps of moments that people are already stimulated by, especially like the sports pages.
Yeah,
that's why like I love E so much because it's like we take pride in giving people. Content for real. Like, no, we're gonna give you
beasts,
some characters. We'll give you some stuff, like, but like sometimes the brand tell you like, nah, we just want you to talk and say this, read off the script. It's like, really, like, yeah, the money look good, but it's like, damn, like you taking away from my audience.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, but like the person is like senior social media marketer for such and such. Nigga, you just record Instagram videos all day long.
see,
You're not in the trenches for real. Like you're not producing for real. And again, I don't want to come off like a hater because again, I play the game too.
Well, no, it's not hate. It's like you're just learning. You start to learn, and that's the interesting thing about making content. The deeper you get into this, the more you realize that some of these positions ain't what it seemed. It ain't what it seemed. It ain't like this big ass gap between you and that, and you got to have all this expertise and experience. A lot of these people be having great titles for these niggas be average, be regular as fuck.
You know what's the one thing aside from a hookah stick that I would love to be in this life, and this is gonna be like crazy to say.
Wait, what?
Like I always say, like I want to be two things, like a hookah stick or a beautiful light-skinned girl with curly hair.
Okay.
Like
okay.
The privilege and the leverage when they're in the right spaces that people just naturally or a 6'8" or over 6 feet athlete.
Okay.
But like there's certain things naturally that society has allowed us to like. I remember I was having a tough conversation with one of my friends. She wants to be a sports analyst.
Mm-hmm.
She's a brown skinned girl with like 4C hair.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to work on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it's impossible. It's going to be extremely hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like your guy's gonna have to do his thing. For real.
Mm-hmm.
For
That's
you,
the best way to put that.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like
that was the best way to put that.
yeah, I'm here trying not to get canceled.
No, that was the best way.
But when you look at light-skinned girls with curly hair,
yeah, that's what we're more.
It's not even what we're. It's what it's what they have. It's what I mean. It's what they're
like,
getting.
We're used to. That's what we're used to seeing. Like when it comes
in
to
those
us
positions,
getting in. Like think about any fucking black family on a McDonald's commercial.
Yep,
motherfucker always got some tight coils on that bitch.
Right,
you know
so
what I mean? Like,
that's just the world, and it's like that everywhere. Because even like what the artists and the athletes are attracted to, and
right.
So it's like the life is just that, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like if you're a tall, handsome dude with a 6-pack, life is a tad bit different with how people react to you. Not saying that you're not gonna go through stuff internally, but
I talk about this all the time.
That's just life.
Yeah.
But that's why I say, like, yo, I would be a mixed girl with curly hair. Because I just know just certain rooms, at the right conversations. I see it all, especially in corporate.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me started in corporate.
I think that I like to say I think life is fair in the sense of like you might not get through something because of the societal things that you don't have, you know what I mean? Like I might not get with a certain woman because I'm not 6 foot, you know what I mean? Or I'm not 200 pounds in muscle, or a woman might not get on ESPN because she looks like a black woman, you know what I mean? And there's nothing ambiguous about her look, right? But at the same time, like life's fair in the sense you might not get that, right? But what you do get in the birth of that, you know what I mean, is actually way better though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I mean about life being fair. Like when I first came to New York, like I wanted to be at either Hot 97 or the Breakfast Club. Like I just wanted to hold a job down so I can make some bread. I can do my other creative things, but
Those
let me
are great
maintain.
networking spots though.
Those are great networking spots, right? But then I got close to some of them spots and then I realized that okay, there's actually a system in place to how people get jobs here. It's very rare that you see people walking off the street and getting into these positions. Even like with Art, me and Art talk about this all the time. Like, because of Art being a college graduate, you know what I mean? It helped him get in position to get into like an intern position. That's how people get into those spots.
Yes.
They have to have had graduated first. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, even though I'm overly qualified for it, so it's like, damn, okay, I didn't get that. But then what happens is WTF gets created though.
Yep.
And then I come over here. And then this is be like,
you get access to the same people.
Same people.
Same
and then it was
vibes.
like, I wasn't even looking for this because one, it didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I mean, like life's fair in that way. So like she might not get on ESPN, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Because of their societal expectations that you don't fit, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, it's like what you might get instead though, be way better.
Way better.
And that leads me to how important have women been on your journey?
Oh, women. So my love for women outside of my lust, yo, like I'm a girl's guy.
Mhm.
Like I'm I don't know if you know, like my unit is
Yeah, that's your brand.
like I'm responsible for my
Yeah.
homegirls, like the girls I go viral with. That's gang, that's family.
Yeah,
Like
let's speak to that. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, how important have they been
Bro,
to your journey?
they've been important. One, so two things. At first, when I first started, so I've built this community like 3 times already.
Mm,
It was just different people. So I did it in high school.
mm,
I was with popular girls
mhm,
in my class. Did it early on in college, had some little fine things. It was always a image thing for me,
mhm.
like in the beginning. And then like I started losing like my soul. Like it was always like, all right, cool. I was always on some like, all right, who the prettiest thing around, like that I could da 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 da. And they knew this too. Like, yo, like these girls, it kept me relevant at the
Mhm,
time for
mhm,
who I was at the time.
mhm.
Even now, like they're still very much attractive, but the qualities in which I look for in having them around now is just way different. It's like, yeah, I want you to be attractive, but I want you to be a good person. I want you to be
Yeah.
consistent. I want you to want it just as
Mhm,
bad as I do.
mhm.
And I'm not gonna rely on you guys as heavy to keep up my image or whatever.
Absolutely.
But um, I've always had homegirls and female friends that I've always kept close to me because women are way more organized.
Absolutely.
They're way
Less
more
ego,
vigilant,
less jealousy.
less jealousy against men. Yes,
Mhm,
women are always gonna support men. Black women are always gonna support us.
mhm,
That's something I picked on early on,
mhm.
and it helped. It helped me a lot, and it allowed me to build this community of like now all the girls want to come to me and work and want help and want da 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 all types of stuff like that. And I'm great, but that's only because of the grace that these girls have given
Yeah,
me and
for sure,
trusted
for
me.
sure.
Um,
It's what they brought.
and how we represent each other.
Mhm.
So yeah, they've been very important on my journey, especially, even my mother, no matter how much time she broke my heart, those heartbreaks led me to understand women better. Um, yeah, even the woman I grew up with in church, again, word to me, bro, since I was young, I only hung around the girls to the point where
Yeah,
it got to a point where people thought I was gay because all I hung around was girls.
yeah, similar. Similar. Women have always been a safe space for me, and I've always said like a lot of the help that I've gotten in my life, I owe it to women. You know what I mean? It was a lot of ways where I needed help coming up that the men just wasn't in position to help me or just wasn't in the right mentality
Hmm.
to help me
They
with
didn't
it.
get it.
But the women always did though. They was
Hmm.
always there. You know, have you ever had like intimately, like with women that you're being intimate with? Like, do you ever struggle to get women to understand your commitment to this passion, this grind?
Oh, yo, I love these questions. Oh, yes, bro. Um, Early on, now it's easier
Mhm.
because I'm full-time freelance videographer, full-time content creator. Like I'm full-time.
Congratulations, that's a blessing.
Thank you. And I'm
Mhm.
still working on making it steady enough,
Of
but
course.
I'm I'm doing I'm
Yeah.
making more than I made before
Yeah.
than when I had my job.
Yeah.
So, and I had my job and I was freelancing. So
Yeah.
so if I
Yeah,
really
it's saying
locked
a
in.
lot for sure. It's saying a
So,
lot.
um, I can say early on they didn't take it, they didn't get it,
Yeah, they went with that shit.
and rightfully so. And that's why I always made it an option of like, yo, this is what I want to do. This is where I see it going. I would try to attach myself to people in the same type of space in some sort of way. So
Mhm.
if they
Make
did
more
like beauty,
sense.
hair, or makeup, I would like attach myself to them. But yo, like, nah, like even these last couple of months, I'm running into exes and old works and old things, and it's like my favorite line is "I'm proud of you." Like they tell me
Yeah, that's the best
because
shit.
they understood,
Yeah.
and I gave them the floor and the space to leave. Like no, like I don't know how long this is gonna take.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know when I'm
Real
gonna
talk.
hit.
Real
I
talk.
don't know when it's gonna get better.
Real talk.
And I know that you, especially like women that are in school and they about to get their degrees and are
Yeah.
guaranteed jobs, like
Yeah.
that's a different type of pressure.
For sure.
So I'm like, yo,
She on a different kind of timeline.
even women that are already making their own money, like like yeah, we could sleep around, but to be together and to grow
Mhm.
together, like
Mhm.
it's a
To be
different
committed.
commitment. So when I see them, it's crazy. I saw one of my old works the other day.
My whole works is
Yo,
crazy.
so I got dogs, and this girl knows like we had like a little bad fallout. Um, because she wanted something that I did. She wanted a relationship. I didn't want a relationship, but like I rocked with her though. Like I wanted her.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, dog. She first time in 2 years seeing her. We talked 4 years ago, but first time in like last time I saw her, she ain't have the energy for me. And 2 years ago, things were slightly different. She sees me and I pull up on her. I'm shooting this event, but mind you, like I'm way more lit than I was. I'm way more relevant. Her friends talk way more about me. I pull up on her and I see her. I'm like, and she tried to duck me. I said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. And of course, she love that shit. Like,
Yeah.
and nigga, I know you see me. And she looking good and she's on her shit.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about me, woman could, no matter how toxic I get, you will never not feel you're not beautiful. You will never not feel like you're not enough.
Mm-hmm.
You will never not feel like you're not that girl. I'm very adamant because I think I'm that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if I think I'm that guy, I need somebody that thinks that they're that girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I do this one thing where I do these things where you're gonna know that, oh yeah, you're beautiful. You probably annoying, but you're beautiful. You're that girl, and you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Any man would be lucky to have you, right? I see her and we start chopping, but she kind of know like my energy a little different now. Like she knows like
Yeah.
I'm in a different space.
Yeah.
She's also in a different space because she's about to be a nurse very soon. So she's also in her bag of like, nigga, you're not the only one that's been working.
Yeah, I'm glowing up too.
But like her first thing she said, like she's like, yo, like I'm proud of you. I
Mhm.
can't stop hearing about you. No matter how much I try to ignore you. I can't, people are always talking about you.
Yeah,
like
that's a
and
good
but
feeling.
because like a lot of my relationships were not working out because
Yeah.
all I ever talked about
Was
my,
the grind.
my goals and my aspirations and
Yeah.
and like now it's to the point
Similar.
where
We similar in that way.
because I'm working, because like I'm now actively working in it, I try not to say too much because I don't want to come off boisterous or braggadocious. But before, all I ever wanted was like that. Like, no, like if you ask me how my day was, it's about
Yeah,
content
it's
or it was
always gonna
about
be about that because I'm obsessed with this.
and
Infatuated with
and
it.
so many people got turned off by it, but they understood it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's of course hindsight is 2020. Like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
like yo, you really made this shit work, nigga. Like I really can't. Like I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. So yeah, bro. Like, but I always say this. I sacrifice love for this.
Yeah.
I sacrifice friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
Wolf, I don't go outside. I don't party.
Yeah.
I don't hang out much.
Yeah.
My friends, even like that I work with, they're always complaining about how we don't do anything besides work and content and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they appreciate it because they see how much of a distraction everything else is,
Mm-hmm.
and I realign them.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I lost a lot of potential good girls. I lost a lot of potential good people at specific times because of my obsession with wanting. It's not even just my obsession of like wanting to be a content creator or anything. It's my obsession of wanting to be great and wanting to feel like I was making progress and doing
Yeah.
something.
I mean, doesn't every great man go through the same thing? We hear all the stories be sounding real same at some point. You
Yeah.
know, they just be like, you know, this is what I had to go through.
I just
People didn't get
appreciate
it.
the people that never like. I don't think these girls ever doubted me.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes me feel.
Yeah, it might not have made sense for her at that moment, but they don't doubt. Like even hearing you say this, I think about a message that I got from somebody a couple months ago. Hadn't heard from this girl in years. And she reached out to me, sent me a DM. She was like, you know, I want to let you know that I'm proud of you. And like at the time I didn't have the patience to understand you, like canceling plans last minute and you know what I mean? And having to leave shit, you know, like leave when we supposed to be somewhere, you know what I mean? But she was like, but I'm proud of you because this is what you was doing it for. And I see it now. And I didn't get it then, but I get it now. And that meant everything to me. And that's what I think about when I hear you say this. I'm like, I feel you, bro, because just that respect mean everything, bro.
Yo, what about, right? I don't know if you ever encountered like somebody who so I don't know. You're very, personality wise, I think we're very different.
Mm-hmm.
So I've experienced like the apology ones, right? The I'm sorry I didn't get it ones, and those are like the worst to deal with because it's like, why are you making this about you after you done hurt me, right? And it's like, and sometimes some of these
That's
people,
real.
some of these people are not like even intimate things. It's like I remember I had a couple years when I first really started like getting my buzz with my show. Like I had some dude hit me up from my high school years, probably like at the time like 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yo, I didn't get it, but I get it now. Like,
Okay, nigga.
type shit. type shit.
You think this a movie,
Like,
nigga?
no, because I've been the same dude since high school. I've been like, again, performative. I was the most popular kid in my school. I was always ready for TV. Like, if you look at my yearbook, most likely is to be on TV, most likely is to see it. I'm all over that shit. And again, like there's folk tales about me from my high school of the type of dude that I was. So, and the crazy thing is like that had nothing to do with women. It started with a girl, but it had nothing to. It was just like crazy work ethic kid that just thought highly of himself and just wanted to do and be everything, and he wasn't willing to settle as being like the cool black kid. He thought being a cool black kid was High School Musical, Saved by the Bell. Like I was active, and it's like I made it cool. I made the weirdest things in high school cool. Like the jocks and the athletes did not have more clout or attention than me because I just carried it in such a swaggy way, and I also play sports. So it's like, but I never made sports like my forefront of things. Like I was like, nah, I don't want to be on it. I was like, I'm not gonna try out for the team. I don't want to be on the team. Like I'm gonna do me. Like all the girls like me already. I get all the girls already. I get all the opportunities already. I got the grades. I'm chilling like I'm him. So, but I had something like that happened to me 2 years ago with these friends that I had, these females, and one of them like very severely disrespected me, right? Because like credibility is what people care about.
Yeah, that seems to be a constant theme in this conversation.
Oh my God, bro. And it's like, and this one hurt because it's like, I don't care how I come off on the internet. I don't care how I come off to the public when you have a direct relationship with me.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
And you've been around me and you know me.
You know me. Yeah.
And how I've been towards you.
The only way I've ever been towards you. Right?
So talking to this girl, she calls me to gossip about something, and I'm like, yeah, but they do the fake checking thing before they get information, whatever. And then she leaves her screen recording on because she wanted to ask something about one of my boys that she had dated. And I see her message her other friend that I was really, really cool with. And like after that, that's kind of where like I kind of distanced myself and really locked in. But this was like the last straw for me because I'm like I kept on, because of my personality and how I came off, I kept on going through things that I didn't deserve, like from people that I didn't deserve it from. And I caught her like just making a joke about my arrogance. And it's like, she was like, oh, like I guess I was talking about myself throughout the rest of the conversation. Like you asked me like how I'm doing. Like I'm telling you everything I'm doing.
You don't like the way it sounds.
You just don't like it. So or you don't like it coming from me. Right. And that's the thing too, because like a lot of these girls are Nicki Minaj fans. And Nicki Minaj has the same personality and does the exact same thing. Same thing with 50 Cent. That's why I never, if you think 50 Cent wasn't like this before he got rich, you're wrong. Like, no, it just got magnified, and it's okay because he's rich and successful and he's giving out jobs.
I don't know what it's like to have a personal conversation with him because he would sound like this,
right?
Yeah.
So when she makes that joke, it's like, yo, like I fuck with you, like on a deep. I'm always there for you guys.
Yeah, like why would you play games?
Why would you try to like
speak against
like that one hurt
like that? Yeah, I know what you mean, bro. I've been
so
there too.
Fast forward, 2 years later, I'm giving her a ride home. Still being but it's always been awkward since between us. Like, yo, like they say, I'm like, yo, it's no beef. It's just I'm in a better position.
Like the seal's been broken.
Because there was a point we were all on the same playing field, me and everybody. And then especially like these are people I did music with. And then like my music started doing better than everybody else's. I created the platform. I started getting a new community. Other people that they know started coming around, and I started prioritizing other things after. So it's like, and that's because I just started focusing on like just succeeding, because I'm like, yo, you guys are only disrespecting me because I'm not credible, and I want to do what I want to do and say what I want to say. And we're in the car, and she's like, I never got a chance to apologize. I didn't give you the chance to apologize. That's one. I never got a chance to apologize, but trying to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, I needed your personality and your arrogance, and I didn't get it. And I was like, hindsight is 20/20.
That's an interesting thing to say.
And I took it for what it was. Like you're good.
Yeah, you good.
But at the same time, it's like,
no, it's fuck you for life.
Nah, it's not. It's not even. It's like, yo, you have to deal with that within that's yourself, because I'm not gonna come and save you from this complex that you had. It's like, no, like that apology should have been simply, I'm sorry. Not I'm sorry, I should work on myself. That got nothing to do with me because I did nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? I hate when apologies get like that where people make the like I had to learn that myself. I stopped when I do somebody wrong or I wrong somebody, like I wronged somebody the other day and this girl felt hurt. I'm sorry and I hope that you can forgive me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to leave it at that. I will not tell you how much work I need to do on myself because now I'm guilty.
Yeah,
and I'm making it about
it's
me.
different. It's different. Yeah. Nah, for sure.
So
I feel you on that.
But yeah, that thing with the clout thing, it get like that, and especially when people see you obviously progressing and they feel the need to apologize for how they treated you, it's like, nah, you don't gotta apologize, big homie.
Yeah.
I apologize to myself for allowing you to even treat me like that.
I got 2 questions I want to ask you. I'm very, very interested in your answer to these.
Mm-hmm.
What lesson does God keep trying to teach you that's been the hardest for you to learn?
Let him have it. I have a God complex, so if my bills are due, I feel like I have to pay them. And I do everything in my power to pay them legally, of course, but like, you know, the anger and frustration I allow to take over.
Mm.
And sometimes I might end up pointing fingers. If somebody wrongs me, I still feel the need to handle it myself and not let him handle it.
Mm.
And that's like, alluding to the weekend I had where I came out of character and I did something very
Right. It's going back to the beginning.
Yeah, so it's like, and that's always been the thing because this was a conversation that I had with my brother that he always said he always said it like you don't trust God enough to let him have it.
Mm.
And that's I have a direct answer for that. And it's pretty sure it's that.
Yeah.
It's that. It's no, I'm not allowing him to be God.
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
And it takes self-awareness to even know that. But that comes with your
And somebody calling it out too, like, oh no, like, oh, you think you're God.
Mm.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
I do think I'm God.
It comes with your relationship that you're building though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and that's your speed, that's your time. That's on your time when you discover what that's about and how you get over it and how you put it in its proper place.
Yeah, man.
Last question I got for you. What do you talk to God about when you're alone?
It's kind of like a crazy question, right? It's like you want me to talk to it's
I mean, you can give that answer to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Without being too invasive, you know what
If I'm being honest, bro, I don't talk to God as often as I should, even post baptism. And that's just due to the fact of like guilt.
Mm.
Like, because again, like I intentionally do certain things. I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'm not even making the effort to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes to like, yo, what we really got to talk about? You get what I'm saying? And I don't want to pray for more grace and mercy, and I don't want to fake repent sometimes. And then there's times where like I'm super overwhelmed. And I just talk to him. I'm like, yo, big homie, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't deserve that one. Or like big homie, like I want to change my life. Most conversations I have is about life-changing stuff. And not even just financially, but also like spiritually. Like if I feel like I'm being too mean, too evil, if I'm too broken, if I'm too frustrated, if I'm lacking the patience, like that's how I was able to like that's what led up to my baptism also. Like when I saw the change that God did in me with my patience for people, my tolerance, my understanding, my compassion, I prayed for those things.
Mm-hmm.
Even when like my faith was at its lowest, I prayed. I'm like, yo, God, I'm gonna end up losing all my friends and I'm gonna end up losing myself. I need you to create in me a clean heart.
And God delivered.
And he delivered, and it's like you don't notice it until you reflect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, like why am I not reacting how I usually react?
Yeah.
Why am I not angry right now? Why am I not defensive?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I feel so responsible? Why do I feel so mature? Like I wanted to erupt. And then those are things I talk to him about the most. And I just want a better life. I want a peaceful life, bro.
Yeah.
But my biggest fear is I think God understands what my calling is. I know he understands.
I was about to say, you think God understands?
I know he understands it. I think it aligns with mine. I just don't think it aligns how I want it to align.
And that all comes with time, bro. Again, like
accepting it for what it truly is hard for me.
Yeah, and that
You know, like I
that'll come to you.
can't have hoes, bro. Like I spent all my life. Listen to me. And I know I sound crazy, and
This
again,
nigga.
I'm very performative when I speak. Like, could you think about it, bro? Like, you spend your whole childhood. I want to be famous and rich
So
to
I
have
can.
hoes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take care of my family. I want the bitches.
Do you
Yo,
want
pardon my
hoes or
language.
do you want to?
No, but look, now that I'm here and I'm getting there, the crave for what I like, it was.
Hoes,
It's like I don't want it no more, but like,
of course.
but I still want to make the little me happy. Like, yo, bro, we got all the hoes now. But it's like,
I mean, you kind of do got the hoes. You just not doing nothing with them. But
nah,
that should be that's enough though.
I think that's another thing too. Is like,
Mhm.
you know, in the capacities that I wanted them. Let me not say hoes,
Yeah.
right? Like women, like I wanted all the girls, bro.
Mhm.
So now that I'm here and like I'm navigating, even some, it's like I reject now, right? I'm sometimes I'm rejecting really attractive women,
I mean, at some point you got to, bro.
but
Can't carry them all.
if the energy is off,
Mhm.
if you know, like I was so horny at a point. If you were attractive, you couldn't turn me off.
Mhm.
Now it's like I protect my energy of like, if you're gonna
Yeah.
make me react too much, if you're gonna,
For sure. If
if
you're gonna
it-
be a headache.
yeah, it's a clip.
Yeah.
So now that I'm here, it's like, damn. I get it. I get why it's taking long, because could you imagine like young, horny, immature me
Mhm.
having it?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what?
You would fuck it up
You know how immature men take advantage of these things,
for
and
sure. You
look
got to
at
be processed,
look
bro.
at Diddy, like, you know, not to bring him
Oh,
up
look
again,
at
but
Daddy. Yeah.
look at that. It's like that's what immaturity with money does. It gives you power, and the power makes you
Mhm.
blind,
Mhm.
and it,
Corrupt.
you know, and then society protects you till they don't.
Mhm.
And I probably would have ended up in things that I shouldn't have been in. So it's like, it's understanding that, and again, accepting God for who He is, and what He is, and it's always for the better,
Yeah.
you know. And then once you accept and appreciate that, you kind of give yourself a bit more grace, right? Like I spent the week in Miami, didn't sleep with not a single thing,
Mhm.
didn't go looking for it either.
Had a great time though.
Had a great time, great company.
A week? That's fire.
A week, 7
Yeah,
days in
that's hard.
Florida. Did not chase or hunt down. Now, if it came to me,
Right.
who knows what would have happened? But
Right.
like I usually go with like, I'm leaving Miami with something. This time it was like, I even had a conversation with you. I was like, yo, bro, I might bring somebody in one of the nights. He's like, yo, we vibing. I'm like, yeah, we vibing.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
this is enough actually.
Yeah, it's like it is, and that's the thing too. Like
Mhm.
Reed, right? It's like,
Damn. Once again, lust, bro.
yeah, and I didn't even see nothing that I liked for real. So
Mhm.
it was that, but it was like being okay with enough.
Yeah.
A lot of us, and I talk about that a lot too. It's like the problem is not that we can't live under our means.
Mhm.
It's that we love luxury.
Yeah. Contempt.
Luxury is what people chase. That's why people feel like they don't make enough or can't do enough.
Yeah.
You know, you want luxury. You want
Yeah.
to travel here whenever you want. You want,
Right.
you could still do these things, but you want the luxury and the abundance of it.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
And that's what creates this bitterness inside of all of us, and this sense of like where we really like feel the need, like we feel obligated to go and get certain things a certain type of way, and that's not fair to us, because when we do get it, right? Like, think about it. For me with women, it's like, what's the longest I'm lasting on something that I don't like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what? You might get 10 minutes out of me, then I'm annoyed and I gotta lie. I call one of the bros like, hey, I need you to say that you just got hit by a car. Like, shit like that, bro. It's
Right.
like, and then you kind of like put it into perspective, but that just
Yeah.
comes with spiritual and emotional
Yeah. And now you
maturity.
got to protect your energy, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's really what it's all about. I mean, listen, bro. Thank you for being here.
Bro, I appreciate you, bro. Was this 2 hours?
I feel like a smooth too, for sure. It feel
Nah,
like a
yeah, we
smooth
was
too.
chopping it up,
Yeah,
bro.
I feel like a smooth too. I appreciate you, bro. I really do. For just giving me your time, for making time out of your busy day. Thank you to you as well. Yeah, man. Is
That was
3?
Yeah, I started out like 9:15. It's 12 o'clock.
Oh shit.
No fucking. It's 12? Oh shit.
Niggas came to pod. Yo, we came to pod and talk about God. We came to
And
pod.
hoes and content and a whole lot of other shit.
Oh yeah. Man.
Listen, man, but before we get out of here, damn, 3 hours. That's a first for me. That's a first.
Yeah.
It never did 3.
Yeah, I came with the intention to pod today though.
I could tell. As you was talking, I was just thinking like, I'm really grateful right now because like you really came to give. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
And that's
you.
not something that happens a lot.
You know, I told you I wanted to. Yo, bro, I told you
Nah,
I wanted
for sure,
to be here.
for sure.
I was hitting you up like, yo, bro, I gotta come on, son.
But that's not something that happens a lot. Like as you was talking, I thought to myself, like, yo, he giving. Like you really came here to give, bro. Like you helping. This is dope because we help each other.
Yeah.
But you really giving right now, and I'm benefiting from that. And I'm like, that's just unique because people don't always come to give. You know what I mean? Sometimes it'd be like, damn, like it wasn't everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
niggas
like,
be trying to be too cool and shit like that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't everything, and like you really gave it all. So I'm really grateful for that, bro.
Bro,
For
I'm
real.
grateful for you to have
Thank
me,
you,
bro.
bro. For real.
Appreciate you and your
3
platform,
hours
bro.
is fucking. Who the fuck are we, Joe Rogan, nigga? This shit is crazy. Bro.
We are though. Like that's the
Oh
thing.
yeah, way
like,
better, way better, way better.
I fuck with Joe Rogan, but
Yeah, that's the dude.
it's also like, why not us? They not like us.
Hey, bro. Shout out to Kendrick. Before we
Shout
get
out
out
to
of
Drake
here,
too, bro.
let
Shout
them
out to
know-
hip hop.
yeah, shout out to hip hop, man. Let them know where they can find you, bro. Let them know what they need to know about you.
At the Angie Lolo, TheAngielollo, at Talk That Shh Pod,
Mm-hmm.
TalkThatShhHHPod on all social platforms.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully you catch me on the big screen one day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to.
No, it's gonna happen.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
appreciate
happen.
it, but
It's gonna happen.
I'm trying to. I've been scared for the longest because I don't want to shave my beard or do any of that. So I'm trying to like find it in me to go and seek those opportunities now, like intentionally.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be Justin Bieber where they come and find me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working
It's
out
not
like
how-
that.
it's
I'm
not
like,
working
I'm
out,
about to
yeah.
26. I need. So I'm
But the
about
way
to-
that it will work out to be better, though.
of course, for
You
a
know?
fact. Amen.
Hey, man, before we get out of here, you already know the mantra and the spirit of the brand. Whenever I'm working, I will remember that done is better than perfect. And if I'm satisfied with my work, then that means that I'm living in my purpose. And last thing I'm going to say is we must stay healthy. And we out of here.
Fine, bro.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
3 hours.